Jesus. You know what? I would be lying if I have a few goosebumps right now. First off, right off at the beginning of the show. Oh shit, what is that? Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. That wasn't supposed to play. Right off at the beginning of the show, I want to thank Memology 101 for picking up the rights to the show here. Appreciate him having me on his channel. There are a lot of naysayers about that, of course. I am not one of them. He reached out to me and basically offered this, and I just want to say the man has Vince McMahon. What is it? The grapefruits? That's what he has for balls. This guy just no fucks given. It's unbelievable. Just going down as an all-time legend no matter what happens. So I just want to thank him right off top. There was something else that I was supposed to do. Zidane, no, he's not dead. He's in China. I'm not sure if that qualifies. He'll be back on Monday. I am so sad he's not here. And Gator, I don't know what Gator's doing. I talked to him earlier. He'd probably be joining us here in a little while. Nick Rekieta is going to be here soon as well. Dick Masterson's going to be here soon too. I can't think of, even though my good, the other 2/3 of the trio aren't here, those guys, that's pretty good. That's pretty good fill in. Let's see. So let me see if I can find this. I want to make sure I do it right. Where am I at here? I know this is weird. Okay. Castbox. I'm supposed to shout out Castbox. No, they did not pay me. But we do have a cross promotion going on. Castbox, great app. I actually, no lie, that's the app I use for podcast on my Android phone, but I think you can get it on Apple too. Great app. If you're interested in that, go subscribe to them. I think they're very cool. And they're going to feature the Killstream. And I just wanted to feature them as well. So Castbox. Okay. We're back on YouTube. I'm still kind of astonished. 2,300 people watching. Thank you all for tuning in. A lot of stuff happened today. Basically, they just completely deleted their site around 9:30 maybe? Something like that. Sometime this morning. And I saw a couple tweets. I was going around town running some errands. Of course, I moved in with Andy Worski here in Richmond. That's going to be a storyline coming up. We're going to Miami. We're doing all kinds of stuff. So we were out running errands, picking up stuff for the apartment, and I saw a couple tweets, and they said, stream me, I'm getting 403 or 404, whatever the hell it was. And I said, well, the site's kind of sketchy. Maybe it just, maybe it's just messing up. I really didn't pay too much attention to it. And then I saw that it was legit and that the site had been completely deleted. I didn't comment on it publicly. I don't think I've actually made a comment on it publicly besides to shoot down the one rumor that somehow it was all going to transfer over to Ice Poseidon's Scuff.com. Now, StreamMe is running the tech for Scuff.com. They do have an investment with Ice Poseidon, but no, it's not all transferring over to him. I've heard nothing of the sort. That's just a wild rumor. So that's not happening. And the reason I waited is because I wanted to talk to some people there. I wanted to find out what was going on. And what was going on is there's a board on 8chan. They doxed the owners. Now, according to what I was told by the StreamMe staff, I don't actually frequent the board any longer, but they doxed the owners of StreamMe. They doxed their family. There were calls made to the owners saying, we know where your kids go to school. We know where they live. And they decided to pull the plug on the entire site. There's going to be a meeting on Wednesday. And there's a chance maybe it could come back. But as of now, I would put that at, I put the chances of that at very slim. I don't think it's probably going to be back. Just based on how not only did they delete the site, they deleted the apps off the App Store and the Play Store. Just completely 86 the whole thing. And not just me. Obviously, I had 300 and something subscribers there. That's where people were used to seeing my show. a lot of things were fucked up for me, but you have people like SPCC, who does one of the best original content streams on the internet, if not the best. Jim, Mr. Medicare, was doing his Medicare in the morning streams. A lot of other smaller content creators. Randbot was on there, a friend of mine. Just a lot of people whose stuff I enjoyed, and they just completely deleted the site with no warning whatsoever. I guess that's the biggest problem I have with it, is they could have given some type of warning. I completely understand if they would have said, look, this is getting too autistic. We want to do something else, because they have a lot of other business interests, and this is not their big enchilada, so to speak. StreamMe is not that. I would call it, and this is not an insult, it's just a term, a vanity project. You know what I mean? And it's run at a loss. So I certainly understand them just saying, yeah, fuck this. It's too much. It's more problems than it's worth. That being said, they could have given us some type of lead time, some type of warning. They just deleted the site out of nowhere. I can't co-sign that. I think that's bad business. I would say that for anybody. D-Live, YouTube, no matter what. If you just delete everything with no forewarning whatsoever, that's bad business. And you can't, Dark V's in the chat. Yeah, that's another favorite of mine. You can't, nobody can co-sign that. That's just ridiculous behavior. I'm hoping, as I said, there's a slim chance maybe Wednesday could possibly turn things around. I guess we'll just have to see. That's what I know. That's why they took the site down. All the other rumors, they're bullshit. That's why they did it. The owners and their family were being harassed and threatened, and they just decided it wasn't worth it. So I don't know if maybe I should have saved that reveal. I wanted to say it on air myself, but that's what happened with it. So let me check here. Okay. We're gonna get Rekieta, Dick Masterson. Let me make sure he got my message. I don't think he. Okay, let me message him live on air. By the way, it's good to be back. I have to say, it really is good to be back. Let's see. Okay, let me text him. Join Discord green room. Doing it there instead. Okay. So yeah, Masterson, Rekieta. Now I'm gonna look in chat. Let me look through chat and see if I can figure out. Oh, I see. Rastafarians has been watching you on YouTube the whole time. Glad to have you back again live, buddy. Thank you so much, dude. Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to sound gay, but it's kind of touching to be back. It really is. I know a lot of people, Palmer Eldridge, he puts up the archives. A lot of people just not going to watch on streaming no matter what. So a lot of people, they just been catching the archives. Shadow Man says, Ralph, you need a co-host. You need Zidane back. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that. I love my co-hosts, and I miss Zidane and Gator terribly, especially Zidane because he hasn't been here. So let's see. I see people saying rip Mamology's channel. I think that's incorrect. I'm not actually banned from YouTube, and neither is this show. I can't own a channel. Obviously, this is not my channel. And Mamology is basically my boss as of now. So we'll see. We do have a green room. I guess we could take a couple calls. I might regret this, actually. But I guess we could take a couple calls, or else it's just going to be me running my mouth beforehand. Oh, shit. I almost posted the link. Oh, fuck. Okay. You can tell I'm a little discombobulated. Okay, give me a sec. What the fuck? I just pressed F11. That's never the button you want to press, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a little... I don't know. I haven't been this nervous doing a stream in a long time. Let's see. Mamology, I will have him post the link for me. There you go. Discord. There it is in the chat. If some people want to hop in, we'll take a... Yeah, chat is crazy right now, I have to say. Oh, I can't wait till Dick and Nick get here. Okay. Oh, I do see some people in here. Now, I will tell you this right now. Again, Mimology, this is his channel. He is the boss. He is running things. I am but a meager employee. So if you come on and start saying crazy shit and N-word this, N-word that, I'm just gonna kick you out. So I'm just gonna let people know now. You can call it cucking, you can call it whatever you want. I will throw you out of the stream very quickly. So you can take that or leave that. I see Nick Rekieta here. Since I said I would take a couple calls, let me take 2 before I bring him in. Quick calls.
Yeah, he probably won't.
Bulk Bogan, real quick. Lightning round. Oh shit. Okay, sorry, sir. You can't hear me. Okay, real quick. Lightning round question. Go ahead and keep in mind. We're here on Mimology's channel. Let's respect his channel.
I just want to say you can't sunset the Killstream.
Thank you, sir. I agree with that. Many have tried. Many tried today, as a matter of fact. So, thank you, man. I appreciate that call.
Love you.
Oh, well, I love you too. Fuck it. I'm in that type of mood. Fuck it. Okay. Let's take a couple more. Oh, man. Green room filled up pretty quick, huh? Okay. Where am I at? Okay, let's try. And also, yeah, I see this guy's a stream me subscriber. I don't know what's gonna happen with those, but Naraxis, lightning round real quick before you bring Nick Rekieta on.
Hey, I would just be super careful with hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Stop I wouldn't bring any guests on tonight.
Oh, you mean callers that they could get out of control?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but
you want to be super careful.
I mean, callers can definitely get out of control,
man.
But that's why I put that out there. If you get crazy, I'm just gonna throw you out. So.
Well, yeah, but come on, this is memology's. Fuck.
Yeah, I get your point. Go ahead.
I'm drunk as fuck.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Just be careful, dude.
Thank you, man.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's okay.
Love you guys. Ralph, I've
Yes.
been trying to talk to you for a little while about these fucking gay ops, but
they never stop, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, definitely.
Thank you, man.
Love you guys. Catch you.
Thank you. Love you too. Have a good one. All right, let's bring on Nick. Okay, Nick Rekieta. By the way, Nick Rekieta, the man of the moment. Just been absolutely slaying it. I saw he put out an advertisement for his stream earlier, and it had. Hold on, can I pull this up before I bring him on? I don't know if this will make him bashful or not. I hope not. Let me see if I can. I saw this, and it was a mere ad for his stream. Let me see if I can. Okay, this is just an ad. I think the one time I had this type of numbers for an ad was when they deleted me off the entire YouTube platform. Banned me from owning a channel, should I say. Here's Nick Rekieta. Tonight, do not miss the beginning of the show. We will have Ty Beard live in the first hour. Link to follow when I get home, 11 p.m. Central. 210 retweets, 980 likes. And honestly, that's like a pre-ad because it doesn't even have the link to the stream. Dude is on fucking fire. That was the original idea why I wanted him on the show, because he's been a constant guest on the Killstream for months and just a great guy. Any favor I ever asked him, he provided it. I've asked his counsel on a few things. He's just a really nice person. I met him in person, met his wife. She's amazing too. Just a great guy. I could not be happier about that. But why don't I tell him that himself? Okay. Nick Rekieta, sir.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
It's going good. Look where we're at. What's happening right now?
I don't know, man. The world is wild. I get to the airport today, and all I see is Rip Stream Me all over the place. I'm like, uh-oh. What is happening?
Now, what do you think about now? You also, your streams, of course, have been blowing up on YouTube. 3, 4, 5, 6,000 people watching your streams. You just absolutely been killing it. And there's no shortage. And I told somebody else this. I don't think it was you. Like, of course, you're a lawyer, brilliant attorney. Can explain also your talent. I feel not just your legal knowledge, but your ability to make that entertaining and explain it to the layperson in a way where they don't want to, shoot themselves in the head. And it's you know what I mean? You know, sometimes you'll
Yeah.
hear some people,
No,
it's
I
very,
do.
it's very dry, and you're like, okay, I have to turn this off. But you're never like that. So I think that's your talent, but also there's no shortage of internet attorneys who have no formal legal training, but yet when you speak to them on Twitter or other platforms, they have all the answers and they know all about the law and they can tell you everything, except when they run up against somebody like you. I guess comment on that first. Just the whole, you've been on an amazing role, and I think that's part of it. There's been a lot of spurs coming up against you, and the Vic case, of course, too. But
Yeah, well, the best part about internet attorneys is that the law doesn't work in black and white. It just doesn't. So when you've got someone who is 100% sure that they read the thing that they found on Google or that their friend linked to them correctly, they're like, no, this is definitely what it is. And then they're not an attorney, so they don't know, one, how we read that. They don't know, two, how we interpret it, and three, most importantly, if it's not in our favor, how we get around it. So they're trying to operate this gray area, or navigate this gray area with black and white instructions, and it doesn't work that way. If it did, you'd never need an attorney. They wouldn't be helpful.
right, why even hire one? You just go up there and talk yourself. Yeah.
Well, and the best thing is, I think most of the people in the Vic case right now are thinking, why would I hire an attorney? I've got all this. I've got the power of Google at my fingertips.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one thing to look up a couple. Look, I've been there. Obviously, my past history. There's been a couple times where I looked up a Google search or two and tried to find out the particulars of a law and this and that. But it's one thing to kind of apprise yourself of the situation versus thinking, oh, I can step to a real lawyer, I can get in court and represent myself. That's taking a mental leap. It's one thing to educate yourself about some of these things, but to think you can take the place of a professional, esquire, that's kind of a mental breakdown behavior.
It is, but I love when they have it.
And I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon because I've been on the internet many years and I've seen many, many internet attorneys. I don't think there's ever going to be a shortage of those.
No, they have this. Well, the nature of law is great because it's as you know, it's an adversarial system, which
Sure.
is our founders decided that this system was the best way to get to the truth, is to have two people arguing vigorously for their method of the truth, their version of the truth, and then to have a neutral either person or group of people to determine what seems to be the actual truth amongst those two stories. So because of that, whenever you comment on a case that is public, that has any momentum behind either or both sides, you're going to have people automatically, by default of their position, whether it's legal or not, will rally to one side against you. And then because of confirmation bias and other things like that, they're chronically incapable of not trying to disprove you with a Google search. And it's the greatest. So it's never going away. I only hope people stay as entertained by it as I am.
Well, I can tell you that I've been very entertained. First off, and I said this before you got here, complete congratulations on what you've been accomplishing lately. It's just, you've always been doing well, for months and months, 500, 600, maybe peaked to 1,000. I think the Donga stream really kind of broke you out completely, where you had 2,000-3,000 people watching that live. Of course, I was sniping it live on the rest in peace streamy.com platform.
You're getting a letter for that.
Yes. It was must see TV or whatever live stream, and I think that kind of started getting you some momentum, and then the Vic case happened. So somebody who doesn't watch anime, I mean I've seen a little bit here and there, but I'm not
sure.
Gator, who's usually here, he's like an expert in all that. Real quick, I don't know if everybody here knows the case. I know some about it. I followed it a little bit. The reason I didn't talk about it as much because I didn't feel like I really knew the terrain there. Could you explain it for somebody who maybe doesn't know about voiceovers and all that stuff?
Yeah, well, the 5 minute version is that Vic Mignogna is one of the biggest voice actors in English dubbed anime. He is the voice of Broly. Of course, there was Dragon Ball Super Broly was released on January 16th, I think it was. Maybe it was the 15th, one of those 2 days, and it did $30 million domestically. So, reminder: this is an English dub with limited theatrical release doing $30 million makes it one of the biggest anime releases in U.S. theatrical history. And he is a star character. He's also the voice of Edwin Elric on
Hmm.
Full Metal Alchemist, which is a very popular show. Of course, Netflix picked it up because it's a moneymaker as well. So for the past 10 years, there have been rumblings from that corner of the internet, and they all seem to stem from Vic's refusal to sign a piece of yaoi art. Are you familiar with yaoi, Ralph?
I honestly no.
Let me put yaoi in Killstream terms. Yaoi would be taking, say, someone drawing a picture of you and a picture of like Andy in a gay love affair. That would be
They were doing that yesterday when I talked about us moving in, and we'll get to that later too. Okay, I
perfect,
see. Yes,
perfect,
yes.
perfect. That's the layman's term. I mean, yaoi is a genre of taking heterosexual characters and putting them into a like
Right.
homosexual love relationship. So Vic has a policy of signing not signing non-canonical art.
Now
He
let me
didn't
ask you,
do it.
what is his
Yeah.
reasoning behind not signing that? But just because it's
Uh,
not canon, is that
that's his stated reason. I mean, there's speculation that his Christianity plays a part in
okay?
him not
Yeah.
wanting to sign gay stuff. However, there's lots of evidence that Vic has no problem with homosexuality in terms of what other people do. He worked in LA for 2 decades in a voice acting role. It's hard to be uh, anti-gay in the anime community and in a voice acting community. Um, but and there's footage of him like actually shouting down Westboro style protesters. So but that doesn't really matter, right? The What matters is how the control left internet takes takes your position, and they've taken the position that he is opposed to yaoi rather than opposed to non-canon art. And because of that, it seems 10 years later, after screeching about him online to nobody's effect, they finally got enough momentum with sort of a perfect storm of stuff where they had the release of Broly, which brought a lot of attention to his name and to his tag. And anytime he's tagged, they had this a person named Han Leia on Twitter who was screeching again about how horrible he was. And then that combined with some idiot named Mars Girl who used to be on Channel Awesome, she created a hashtag called KickVic, and then that really started the downfall. After about 3 weeks, his very good friends, so he thought, turned on him. They were fellow voice actors, and they came out with their hashtag Me Too stories, and from that point on, he was done at Funimation and Rooster Teeth, which are two of the dubbing
I
houses
am
in the
familiar.
US.
Yeah, I'm from because they're so big that yeah, I know those names, especially Rooster Teeth.
Yeah. So from that point on, I mean, once his coworkers turned, that really seemed to be the beginning of the end. Their stories ring really suspicious to me because they're so similar to each other's. And the most annoying part about this is if the worst thing about him were true, like if you said, okay, everything you say is true, the thing he's most guilty of uh, would not even probably be convictable as a battery. Like he has quote unquote kissed without consent underage fans. Now, what that means is, of course, in public at a convention, he will give them a hug and a peck on the cheek
So like
when
when
they
he's
come up and
taking,
pay
he's
him.
posing for pictures or whatever, like that's a common, like you see, what's his name,
Right.
Jason Momoa and all these, actors. They all do
Of
the picture
course. Of course.
circuit. Wrestlers, they all do that. I mean, it's easy money, and you get to meet your fans, and a lot of times with this, you're making fans for life when you have those type of interactions with people. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just a great practice. So
And that seems to be what's really happened, the fans for life part, because in light of what they're trying to slide under the radar as sexual assault allegations, You know, he has a groundswell of fan support that is, it seems to be still weighted in his favor 65 to 70%, which is kind of shocking because these sort of allegations tend to turn people away very, very quickly. But
he has
his
some
very
real diehard supporters, does he? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
everywhere, and I guess it's. What do you think has made them such diehard supporters? Is it his character, or that they feel that there's been such a miscarriage of justice?
Both.
Okay.
One thing I'm seeing is I started a GoFundMe for him, of course, and that's over $90,000 has been raised for his legal defense / offense, whatever you want to call it. Um, and in doing that, of course, I get tons of emails, right, about this whole situation, and emails from people and messages, and so many of them are, I was about to kill myself and Vic took my phone call, right? Like this guy took this celebrity that I idolized, took my phone call and talked me out of it. And then I saw him at a convention 2 years later and he remembered my name and asked me how I was doing. You know, that's the story after story like this, where this guy just seems to be like a guy who cares a lot about his fans. And some people might say to a fault, but
Well, that's the type of stuff that, like I said,
such
that's
a meme.
I mean, that goes beyond even just meeting them for a picture, but reaching out to people like that. That's the type of stuff that never leaves you, especially if it's somebody you admire. Like, I mean, by the way, shout out to Tonka Radio. He's doing a stream right now. It says TRR's Plan B is going well. There are 87 people watching his stream, and there are 3,700 people watching our return to YouTube. So I think it is going pretty well actually right now, Nick. I mean, fingers crossed. I mean, there's always a chance. There's always a chance it doesn't go well at a certain point. I will give Tonka that 1 point, but I think as of now he has a little bit of egg on his face. Is he hoping for something here while he's doing his little snipe? Maybe that's what he has planned, but. Do you have a message for Tonka? Before I ask you one last thing about Vic, do you have a message for Tonka since he's watching the show?
Sure. Tonka, buddy, just don't lie. Stop lying. I mean, that's all you had to do was just not lie. In this whole situation, you would have still been on your show with, like, instead of 87 people, like 170 people, and you could have just kept going and doing what you're doing, but the lying, man, it killed you. You don't have to lie. It's the internet. We get over that stuff. The internet doesn't forget, but it can forgive, but it doesn't forgive liars. Whew,
yeah, I don't know. At this point, you know, we have had some rocky times the last couple of weeks. I would be lying if I said that we haven't. I mean, let's.
I've heard.
You've heard, and it's been quite a ride. I will say that. But this whole time, and we've taken our licks before, though, Nick. I mean, it's kind of hard to kill this program, but we definitely taken some licks the last couple of weeks. And this whole time, I see Tonka, and he's doing his little cackle, and he's bringing his cronies on. I think Kraut was on one of these streams. This show could go belly up and never be broadcast again, and it wouldn't do a damn thing for Tonka Saw. It would still be a loser. He would still be everything everybody ever said about him. You know, us going belly up, me and Andy could go jump off the fucking bridge tomorrow and end it all. And he would still be everything everybody ever said about him. He's taken no responsibility for anything that he did. So I think that would be step number one for him. But he's never going to do that. Let me ask you real quick, one more Tonka-ism. Because I took almost the whole week. Well, I say took
I have... Real quick, before you ask, I do have one more thing to say to him.
Okay.
Daddy, no!
I think that's perfect. I should just end the segment there, but real quick, did you see his wrestling endeavor the other day?
No, no.
Okay, you didn't miss it.
Wait, did he do a live wrestling? Did he wrestle?
Yeah, so I don't know if you recall this. You were in Knoxville with us and everything. But before the Knoxville fight that didn't happen, he was on the Kumite. Now, he doesn't call it the Kumite anymore because that name's too poisonous even for his 87 listeners. So he calls it Jams, just another miserable Saturday or whatever. And so
Miserable.
yes, miserable. No. So he was talking about he bought this YouTube championship belt, and he was describing it, and him and Vamp were laughing about it, and Vamp's gonna put this around my waist when I beat the shit out of Andy Worski. And of course he didn't even show up in Knoxville. He didn't do the blood test, and he never went. But mysteriously enough, he had a little tournament at his very small independent wrestling there in his home county. I think there were maybe like 10 people there. I think that might be an exaggeration. But mysteriously enough, they were having a tournament to crown the new YouTube champion. Just out of nowhere. I'm sure that was their idea. And mysteriously enough, he won that tournament. Now, I speculated on Twitter that was probably because he actually owns the belt itself. And so it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to win his own championship. But yeah, he had a little wrestling tournament this past weekend, and took everything. I said I wasn't going to do any streams. I did pop on a couple streams, but as far as my own streams, I didn't. So I didn't get to watch it live. But yeah, it was quite the spectacle.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. So who is he wrestling?
Just no names you would never know. Yeah. But
they're people on YouTube?
No, so they call it the YouTube Championship. Now, that was another thing that people were having a problem with, because they're saying, well, he's the only YouTuber in the tournament. Now, I kind of get, so I actually have watched a fair amount of wrestling. So you could say it's the YouTube Championship because it's defended on YouTube or whatever. So like the TV champion, they would just defend the title on TV. So that actually makes sense from that point of view. But yeah, it was just him and a bunch of no names that I'd never heard of. And he somehow he overcame the odds. Guess what? At one point, the guy who's actually the wife, they're like the husband and wife that runs the promotion. I'm not sure if you know this lore, but the wife used to be Donga's girlfriend, and the male was his tag team partner, and she cucked Donga and left him for his tag team partner.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And then they got married. And so they did a skit. I think it was during this, or it might have been the show before. I think it was during this weekend. And he actually did the daddy no at Donga there. And I swear on everything. I wonder if somebody has a clip of that. Oh,
they should have done another skit where the husband wrestled someone and won, and then Donga got up and put on the belt. Like he just sat on the turnbuckle watching the whole time.
By the way, let me say this. If somebody has the clip of, I forget the guy's name, Ace or something like that. If somebody has the clip of him yelling daddy no at Donga, now it's never going to top Nick's daddy no, but if you have that, please send that to me. And I want to play it. I see another esteemed guest in the waiting room here. Let me go ahead and bring him on. Mr. Dick Masterson, how you doing, sir?
Whoa, I got a weird feeling. Is this what it feels like to be on YouTube again?
I think it is, man.
What the hell is going on, guys?
It's quite the homecoming. I say we almost have about 4K here watching, so...
Oh, it feels good. It feels good to be back in pig territory. How the hell, what's going on? How the hell did you manage that?
Well, Mimology, he's a associate friend of mine I've known for a while, and
great dude, by the way.
Great dude, awesome guy. And by the way, I didn't ask him to do it. He actually offered, and just no hesitation whatsoever. I don't care. I see all these people bitching. That actually just makes me know that it was the right thing to do. And that just made him even more stern with what he was doing. He's like, I don't care if I get a strike. I don't care what happens. I'm good regardless. And he reached out to me. I would say he would acquire the rights to the show here.
All right.
So we're on here. I don't know how long we'll be. But it might be a permanent thing. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
You learned your lesson though, right? Never try to help kids again.
I was thinking of that earlier today because there was some ideas kicked around that maybe we might try to do YouTube. You know what? The cancer kids can just fend for themselves from now
I mean,
on.
it really was like you were starting to dignify us Morlocks and undesirables, and they had to shut you down. That is really what I think.
It was too much for them. We raised, what was it, 27,000, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wrong, 0.
yeah, I was gonna say.
You raised 0.
0. I actually took some back. I waited outside of a St. Jude's and kicked this kid's ass. So they got a negative.
Oh my goodness. Oh, let me read some of these real quick because they did send some super chats. Victor Dresna says good luck staying on YouTube. That guy from that thing says Scrub Money Augie RFC says happy days are here again. Indeed. Half Boiled Hero says here's to the YouTube return not being aborted. The Bones On says welcome home my sons. Thank you very much. Terry J says welcome home to Long Nose Tube, can't abort the retort. Darwin Smith says profligates as late as you belong in the cross. Yeah, I was a little late, shockingly enough. Zorbs says RIP Luke Perry and Stream Me. Now I'll pause it there and we'll go through. I will read every one of these as always. Unless
Wait, did Luke Perry die?
Yeah, he died today. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
did.
What did he die from?
Did he have a stroke or something?
He had a stroke a while ago. I think he
Yeah,
never recovered.
I think
from
that
it.
weekend. Yeah. No, he had a stroke like last week or sometime recently, right?
It makes me feel old as hell if Luke Perry is having strokes.
Dude, he
Oh,
was like
dude.
the heartthrob when I was a kid. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
found my ex-girlfriend from high school on Facebook and sent her a message like, "Take that, you bitch, for all the times I had to watch you, for all the times you made me watch 90210 to get a hand job. He's fucking dead now."
Yeah, rip the original, Pike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie.
Oh, you're going way back there. So yeah, Luke
Oh
Perry
my
dead,
God.
but so is Stream Me. That was the part I didn't expect the Luke Perry part. But Stream Me dead. And I was gonna ask Nick this, and Dick, you can weigh in. I kind of skipped it to talk about Vic a little bit. You even while your stream's been just absolutely slaying it here on YouTube, just going nuts with the buzz and just everybody paying attention to it. You were also restreaming every single night to Stream Me. And you've been an early supporter, I guess. Right after we moved there, you started doing your restreams there, and been very supportive of the site. What do you think about what they did today by just deleting it?
Yeah, well, I didn't know the lore, so they deleted the site. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they completely deleted the site, and I talked about this a little bit at the beginning because I figured I should do a little solo monologue. And so they got doxxed on 8chan. Their families got doxxed, and they sent threats that we know where your kids go to school and this and that. And there's been a lot of that type of thing towards the ownership. Or maybe you shouldn't have this person on. We're gonna do this and that, or looking at their wives. And honestly, people were doing like cum shot tributes to their wives and sending pictures of that to them.
They didn't like
Yeah.
that?
That means
Man,
you
I
got a
gotta
good
say,
wife, right? Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
on
was thinking.
fire every day trying to convince guys to come shoot on my girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they decided that I guess discretion was the better part of valor. Of course, they have other business interests as well, and they figured, well, we'll just get rid of Stream Me. Stream Me was kind of a lot of these streaming sites, even YouTube itself, most of the time is run at a loss. I guess they just decided that they would do something else. My problem with it, and I said this at the beginning, was them just deleting it out of nowhere.
Yeah, they couldn't give you a heads up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I had 300 subscribers on that site. People 1,000 plus, 2,000 plus. Sometimes people would watch the stream per night, and you just delete it. You just up and delete it out of nowhere. To me, you have to give some type of warning, even if it was one day. Honestly, it should be a few weeks at minimum, but even one day would have been better than just deleting it and me having to find out about it on Twitter. That's ridiculous to me, but I don't know. You guys
Yeah,
can weigh in.
I don't know. I think they should have put up a message, just said, you know what, due to some unfortunate circumstances, we've got to pull the site down, right? Like that. Even that should be up instead of the 404. That's embarrassing. But yeah, they should have sent out a message to their, to some of their top creators, to let them know that this was coming, just so they could make arrangements ahead of time. Even a day's notice would have been nice.
Well, yeah, I
right?
had no clue what I was gonna do. I mean, I had already not streamed the Killstream since last Tuesday because of what we talked about earlier. Just been a lot of drama, and I said, you know what, I'm just not gonna do the show for a little bit. I'm gonna take a little break. And tonight, a lot of you guys coming up. I was gonna have Josh on. He's banned from Stream Me. They literally told me flat out, don't have him on. So
Streamy told you not to have Josh on?
yeah, they told me flat out, don't have him on.
Good God. I mean, I had him on Streamy. Like, Streamy probably didn't know.
Yeah, well, he's also been on a couple other Stream Me broadcasts. I don't technically he was banned from the platform, and it had brought a lot of heat on them, and that's why they took him off in the first place. I was just gonna bring him on anyway, because I was kind of at the point where I was like, fuck it. But they told me flat out, don't have him on, and they were already getting. So that's another part of the story. People have been trying to take down the website hardcore, especially since the last week or so. And the people that I deal with in the company right below ownership had kind of, been taking a lot of flack, and had already had some, stern words from ownership. And so at that point, after we had a conversation about some of the stuff they were going through, they just told me flat out, do not have him on the program. Basically that you're going to be deleted yourself if you do. Now, of course, the whole website's deleted now, so it doesn't matter, I guess. But
it probably sucks for them. Like they spent all that time building unicorns into their interface or whatever the fuck. Like they worked on that platform. They obviously loved it, even if it was janky. And then
janky, but, yeah.
it finally gets some real, it finally gets a real talent on there. Immediately destroyed, like just gone. In what seems like the span of a day.
Yeah, and I want to say this. First off, the staff there and the people I dealt with, just absolute gentlemen, helped me every time I had a problem, any type of issue. Great people, especially the head admin there. Just a great guy. And, there was really no forewarning for them either. And I'm hoping, I said this at the top, they're going to have a meeting on Wednesday. I guess there's a small chance that they could possibly reverse course, but to me the way they just deleted everything,
yeah, no fucking way.
Yeah, it's very
Zero
unlikely.
chance.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody should, like, as soon as Stream Not Me went down, I went on Akamai, loaded it up, and I started messaging friends of mine who were like the systems guys, systems administrators, and whatever, because it's bullshit. Going from one refugee camp to another, like YouTube to DLive to Stream Me, doesn't make sense anymore. Everybody's got to either build it themselves or know the person who's running it so they can show up at their house and punch them in the face. Like everybody's got to go the Alex Jones route.
Here's the problem with Stream Me, right? Like I get that they're nervous, their wives and kids and all that stuff. Here's the problem though. They'll never be able to make, like, they'll always be looking over their shoulder anytime they make a new site, because now that person knows exactly how to shut it down.
Yeah.
Right. So the next time, they want to, maybe they don't use the same, they have a different video platform, and that person doesn't like, I don't know, whatever they don't like on there, they're going to immediately just send, yeah, by the way, I still know where your kids live, and I still know what your wife, what color towel she uses after she showers.
Got a lot of cum still that I can shoot.
Right. I've been charging up since the last
a new brew just today. Special summer season.
But you can't give in to the randos on the internet. I mean, if you're genuinely threatened, you contact law enforcement. But I mean, especially if you're going to be an owner of a website, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do the next time?
And by the way, I had a lot of a beef with Zoom over the last week, but we talked to staff, and excuse me, hold on, let me cough. And they basically said, people are trying to destroy the site. Could you guys maybe just, stop fighting each other? And we did talk a little bit. I decided, well, they're trying to kill the whole thing. Let's just put it all behind us. Most of it's dumb anyway.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's I just squashed the beef, but I talked to him. He said exactly what Nick just said today. If you give in to this sort of thing, it's never going to end. It's not like they're going to stop. And it just sets a precedent for yourself. And honestly, they kind of set the precedent early on with some of the stuff. It was clear they were vulnerable to this type of pressure. And once that becomes clear, people are never going to stop. I mean, I don't know. I hold out a little hope that maybe they'll do something on Wednesday, but I don't think it's very likely, to be honest. And now, how about this question? The legacy of Stream Me. What would you say about that, Dick?
The legacy of Stream Me. I'm never gonna trust .me again. The illustrious .me is dead to me. I don't know. They can move it to stream.lol or stream.fun or whatever. It's time to give up the .me though. You know, I don't know what they expect. I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. Like when they opened up the platform to you guys, or when they opened it up in general. Like, who the fuck do you think is gonna come to your platform? It's not gonna be people who want unicorns and stupid hats on their videos. It's gonna be the people who are banned from everywhere. Like, that's the point.
Right, because otherwise they'd just be on YouTube.
Yeah. You know, it's unavoidable. I'm glad to hear that you squashed your beef with Zoom. Somebody told me I had a chat with Zoom on Discord the last time I was on your show. It was a nice chat. I got nothing against the guy. I've enjoyed his pop-ins, and I enjoyed his work on the Donga.
He did
saga.
do some great stuff on Donga, I have to say.
Yeah, I liked it. I talked with him for a bit, but then I guess, you know, I don't keep up with the Killstream every day, but then I woke up to a bunch of people emailing me saying Zoom was going after my new Patreon thing, and all I could say was, look, I hope not. Like, you know, there's nothing I can do. At some point, you can't stop everybody. But I'm glad to hear you guys squash the beef.
Yeah,
we need all the support we can get. Everybody needs support to stay online.
Yeah,
say whatever you want, but for God's sake, let's
it's just not worth it. And I will say, you know, when the stuff started breaking earlier, he was one of the fastest people to try to, you know, get them to switch course. I was actually driving around town running errands, so I wasn't even on the case when it first happened. And he's, like I said, he said pretty much everything Nick said. Like, you guys can't give into this. What do you think they're gonna stop now? They're probably gonna keep targeting these people just because Stream Me's down. Why wouldn't they? I mean, it's lulls for them, so I don't see why they would stop. So
the only way to redeem all this is if the guys who shut it down come up with their own streaming site called stream.wife. I think that's what they need to happen. And every single video has to have water sports in it of some sort. That's the way it's got to go.
Yeah, can they change those stickers and those layovers to just cum shots?
Guess that would fit in with the 86 there. All right, let me read some of these. Now I'm thinking I'm supposed to have other topics, so I guess I'll spitball. I do have a couple, but okay, let's roll through. Where am I at here? Okay. Okay, I'm at the Luke Perry. Aaron Van says, press F for Memo's channel. Well, we're still here, so I think that prediction is wrong. Maybe I should knock a little bit. So far, it's wrong. Deep Fried Lettuce says, some money to cover the Planned Parenthood bills. Blue Satoshi says, that intro sounds like a peaceful sunrise. John Mundane says, welcome back, GOAT. Thank you, sir. Causality says, Ralph, are you going to address how you're pulling gay ops on your own supporters? Yeah, I'll address it. That's complete bullshit and a lie. So that would be me addressing it. The Bone Zone says, are you and Andy straight up living together now? Yes, we are. 100%. Deep Fried Lettuce. Yeah, okay, I guess we could talk about that for a minute.
Oh, wow.
I did move with Andy Worski.
Murder-suicide. I think it's going to end in a murder.
Now, as of now, we do share an apartment together. I haven't moved all my shit, so we're separate right now. I see him putting out tweets about rubbing his balls on my laptop while I'm gone. But yeah, we are living together here in Richmond. We're gonna go to Washington, D.C. on Thursday, and we're gonna go to Miami this coming Monday. We're gonna be there until the 16th. So yeah, we got some stuff going on, but we're living together past that too. He's gonna stay here in Richmond. So
You guys are gonna
Yowie
have like the
IRL.
all streaming house, like when they did
Kinda.
a porno house, or it was like the bang house. Where you
No,
could
no,
just
not
tune
like
in
that.
and see people banging in
No,
every
no.
room. It's gonna-
Not like that. No.
Yeah,
But we'll,
but it'll be same two dudes banging in every room.
no.
Everyone's here.
No. We are gonna do some fun stuff. We have some ideas planned, but as far as 24/7 live streams, and especially 24/7 in homosexual sex live streams, no, we won't. We won't be doing that. But I did see Nick put out a tweet. And he said, "Keep my number on speed dial," referencing the roommates thing. I saw Medicare put out a tweet, and mine was roommates day 1 or something like that. And then Medicare said roommates final day, and it showed hands sticking out of the cell block there. So I don't know. We'll see how it is. It's been really fun so far. And again, at the risk of sounding corny, it's very hard to talk to normal people about what I do for a living because it's so strange. And then I even worry about, like, should I even tell them what I do for a living? Like my name and my channel and stuff, and they look me up and they see the Wall Street Journal and Washington Post hit pieces. And do you really want to go through that with regular people? So usually I don't even really go into the full story. I'll be like, yeah, I'll work online, I'll do a little writing every once in a while or something like that. Do you have that, Dick? That
Yeah, I find that like I try not to tell anybody anything because it just turns into me doing a podcast for like the person.
Yeah.
And I have to pretend, like I have to not say so much. I think psychologically I have to pretend to be such a different person in real life that if I cross the worlds, I start losing the ability to control what I say, which is only bad for me.
Yeah, it's tough. Now, Nick, you're a lawyer. This is kind of your side gig, right? Like, I mean,
Well, I tell people I'm a lawyer with a YouTube channel, and they could find me on Legal Eagle if they look up on YouTube. That's the best way to do it.
You know what's funny is I'm kind of bashful and reluctant to share my online exploits. Every once in a while, I might go the full Monty and tell. But today we were getting Worski a phone. And T-Mobile, actually. They didn't pay me to say that, but T-Mobile. And actually had to put him on my plan because he's a Canadian and they can't even run apparently they can't run a fucking credit check on a Canadian. They're saying, well, what's your social security number? And finally I said, he's a fucking Canadian. He doesn't have a fucking social security number. I didn't say the fucking part, but it's like, well, he doesn't have it. Like I said, what? You can't run a credit check on him because he doesn't have one? They said, no, we can't. I said, oh, okay. So I put him on my plan. Now it ended up lowering my bill by like $20, so that's okay. But I put him on my plan, and then he started talking, and the guy behind the counter, he wasn't the one who was servicing us. The guy behind the counter somehow, what Andy does for a living came up. He was talking about, I just left Canada, and I'm sick of living there, and I love it here. It's been so fun so far in Richmond. And he's talking to him. And at a certain point, the YouTube stuff comes up, and he's just like, oh, yeah, my channel's Worski, and da-da-da-da. And dude looks him up and subscribes to him on YouTube. And I don't know. I usually don't operate in that manner, but Andy, I guess, just no fucks given. And, if you Google Andy's name, there's some interesting content. That's why another thing, I usually don't, as far as like, oh, yeah, just look me up. Just search me, Ethan Ralph. Yeah, just pull that shit up. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of reluctant in that manner, but
you say Andy's on your cell phone plan now?
Yes, I did.
You guys are moving fast. It's like a lesbian relationship.
Yeah, when's the wedding?
Do you sign a prenup? Who gets your number if you guys split up?
You know what's
Who
funny?
gets the minutes?
Another side note. I had my same number for, let me see, 2005, basically 14 fucking years, and somebody leaked my number last week, and I had to change it. And I had the same number for 14 years, and I guess maybe it's weird, but I had an emotional attachment to my phone number. Is that strange? I don't know. I had it for
not at all.
I had it forever. I didn't want to give it up. I almost thought about keeping it anyway, but I didn't. But oh man, poor phone number. All right.
The weirdest thing I get is, we homeschool our kids, but that means we go to like a Christian homeschool co-op. And so when the other moms or whatever are like asking my wife, "Oh, what's your husband do?" He's a lawyer, but he's also on YouTube. And then they go look it up, and of course it's always like a stream where I'm talking about someone getting fisted or whatever.
Or slamming bourbon. It's like, save daddy, no. Like, what is this?
Then they keep signing up for my class. I don't know. So I guess it's going okay.
Now let me ask you, since you brought this up, I meant to ask this earlier. What's it been like your meteoric rise over the last few weeks? Have you taken that? What are your thoughts on that, and just, I guess, just reaction to it?
Well, I attribute it a lot to the Vic story and just piercing into a new audience, which is nice. I'm happy that people enjoy the show. The way I've looked at this thing from the get-go, and I think it's kind of the way we all have to look at this because of the reality of this stupid culture, is that it could be gone tomorrow. So I try and enjoy it as it's here, and that's that. I hope to keep growing, of course, but what
It's
I try
so
and do.
great to watch you trash idiots that think
It
they're
is.
so
That's what I was
fucking
telling him
great.
earlier. That gimmick will never end, right? I mean, because there's no
No,
shortage
yeah.
of that ever.
And when you speak about the law as though you're talking about like things that you have lived, it's just beautiful. You'll go on like a 1.5-minute rant about just the physical, like the process of law, and the look that the guys you're arguing with on their face looks like they just shit their pants, except in their
Oh,
mind. It's great.
that guy, that was the, I don't know what that guy was thinking. I don't know what his plan was. I don't know what he took away from it.
Yeah.
That was an embarrassing display for him. Because I just, again, yeah, I have no idea. But these people, they're so confident in whatever their set of facts is. I don't know. He signed a contract once, so he knows all about it. I hope you guys understand that.
Now, let's see. I'm trying to. Could you tell me about Ron Toy?
Oh yeah, I could tell you about Ron Toy. Ron is the Ron is the alleged fiance of Monica Rial, the voice of the fourth voice of Bulma from Dragon Ball. She's very, very important. I hope you remember that. She has accused Vic Mignogna of forcibly grabbing her hair and like licking her ear or something like that. She's accused him of that, just like the other voice actress Jamie Markey did. But Monica blocked me, so I don't know what she's been saying because I haven't loaded up my alt account to follow it. But Ron has just been going off about professional ethics and stuff like that, and he keeps doubling down, which is really funny, I think, because that means that he's just making a case. I told
Now
these
wait,
guys,
this guy
like,
said you had. Sorry, I did mean
Oh,
to
no, go
interrupt. But I was gonna say I didn't mean to interrupt, but I actually did. But so this guy said you had been professionally censured there in Minnesota, right?
I don't know if he did.
Somebody said that.
Somebody else did. Yeah, they said I was sanctioned twice. That
Okay,
guy,
maybe I got
by
him.
the way,
Maybe I got him mixed up. Sorry, but yeah.
By the way, let me just say, Andrew, you're a publicly registered person under 2 corporations in Stone Mountain, Georgia. You're not hard to find.
Yeah,
You
that was
idiot.
that was a different guy. See, that was when all exists. They keep coming out of every. There's no
They
end to
keep
this.
coming.
Oh
And
my God.
that guy should probably just be prepared to receive a letter, because I take my personal or my professional reputation very, very seriously. People can call me an alt-right lawyer, a blackface lawyer. I don't really care. They can let me know that I drink on stream as if I don't, understand what's going on my own show. But if you say I've been sanctioned in Minnesota, you're impugning my professional reputation. And guess who decides whether or not that's defamation, Andrew? A lawyer, who is now a judge, will decide whether or not that's defamation. So again, I'll ask you to retract the statement. There will be a formal letter coming to retract the statement. And if you don't, I might win that case. And
Well, it's
wouldn't want
verifiably
you to-
false, right? I mean, it's not even.
Yeah,
There's not even a question.
I've
right?
never I've never been sanctioned. I've never been disciplined. The only thing that's ever happened, of course, is a very drunk lawyer out of Michigan/New York tried to report me to the ethics board and got shut down by them without me even having to respond.
That was
Yeah.
Maddox's lawyer, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, I see a comment in regular chat. Crushernator's mom says, Ralph, can you get on? It says Duck's Patreon alternative, but I think they mean Dick's, so I don't have to use
No,
Patreon.
they mean Ducks.
Yes.
I started one. There's another guy. Duck started New Project 3.
I am on Dick's version, New Project 2 / The Ralph Retort. I'm on there. Yeah, I guess since they mentioned that, wait, before we go into that, I do want to talk about that, but sorry, I'm a little discombobulated. Before we go into that, can you explain, Nick, I don't know if you can see it on the screen yet, who this gentleman is that you're enjoying some, it looks like bourbon, some type of alcohol there with.
Oh, that was it's coming up. It'll be up in just a second, but that was Maker's Mark, I'm guessing.
Wow.
That is Mr. Ty Beard, if I'm not mistaken. Once the picture refreshes, I'll actually
I
know.
believe so. Yeah.
Ty Beard is the attorney for Vic Mignogna, and I've been trying to tell people that Vic had an attorney. I wasn't lying.
What is this like super suave black
The
turtleneck?
black shirt,
Is this Nick Rekieta After Dark? What the fuck is
Is that
I
your
was
super
at a-
villain attire that you're wearing there? You about to reveal your
Yes.
plan to Mr. Bond? Is that what's happening here?
Please pay attention to my Roman shades. They didn't come cheap. This is a custom fit window. Everything in my home is very
Look at
tall.
how serious
sir.
his face is in this. What the fuck?
We were having a discussion about this case and about the sheer brilliance of the people involved, and about how it's funny that, one, they think I'm not a real lawyer, and two, they can't figure out that I'm not Vic's lawyer, and three, they also can't figure out that I know Vic's lawyer. But Ty and I were at the same event. This is a wedding. That's where I was this weekend. And Ty will actually be on my show tonight. We will have
That's
him
one
on
reason
live.
I wanted to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we were both drinking Maker's Mark. We were having a chat about this case and what's going on with it. And no, I still don't know their legal strategy, because we're not idiots. We do this for a living, and we know how to keep professional, ethical boundaries between our conversations. However, I will say that we had a very good chat. Tonight will be a very good chat. And if I could just say one more message to Ron Toye, Monica Rial, Jamie Markey, Jesse Pridemore, Funimation, Sony, let's see, who else? Rooster Teeth, Chris Sabat, all you guys, lawyer up, because they're coming. I mean, they're coming. You keep thinking this is a joke in a game, and that you could just say this stuff. Oh, and Mars Girl and Anime News Network, they're coming. I hope you can e-beg your way to an oil change to drive your stupid self to the legal aid office, Mars Girl, because I know you can't afford an attorney. You better find a way. you
Now,
better be
Nick was
Jurassic
scary
Park's
enough when
life.
he was
Do you
asking
think part of it?
questions.
No, go ahead, Dick. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Nick was scary, and I thought Nick was scary when he was just asking questions. Now I see the full power of his dark side.
Do you think part of it is that they think just because you have a YouTube channel and you're on here having fun, that it's just fake, and they don't really have to respect you, and you're probably lying about being an attorney just by extension of being on YouTube and talking about it? Is that what you think it lulls them into, like a false sense of confidence or something?
I think there are several things that do, and I'm ultimately okay with it, because it makes spectacles out of people like Shane, right? If I'm just a drunk, alt-right, blackface wearing fake lawyer on YouTube, then they'll definitely win the argument with their social justice credentials, right? That's how it seems to go for them all the time, is that, well, this guy can't know what he's talking about. He can't possibly understand Texas law. He's, if anything, he's a Minnesota lawyer. It's only been practicing a little while. Probably doesn't represent private clients. I mean, even though all of this stuff is, you could check it if you tried hard enough. But yeah, it's just this narrative that I laugh because it's so disarming for them, but I think it's cathartic for them to think that maybe I'm just wrong. It also lets me give them really good advice and know that they're not going to listen. Like, get a lawyer. I've been saying it for 2 weeks, and they just still just won't believe me.
Now, real quick, before I talk about the new project too with Dick, real quick, what got you into the Vic case in the first place?
What got me in was it's another one of these things where someone is accused of something that can't be tested by our legal system. It can't be verified, and it's just repeated loudly enough that someone has to the higher ups at a studio are going to have to respond at some point. So I started looking into it. It had some of the, I guess, echoes of Comicsgate, which, and a lot of people from Comicsgate were talking about it. So I reached out to Vic. I invited him onto a show to talk about it. He wisely said no. But then from there, I was able to start just kind of.
Now, why do you say wisely?
Because for him, just talking to Vic, is a very, very nice guy, by the way. Really, really fantastic, and it's really a shame what's happened to him, because this stuff really hurts someone whose entire life seems to be about dealing with his fans in a positive way. To have that be the weapon used against you, he should not be making public appearances right now, because I think his hurt from the situation will come through, and he might say something that he really shouldn't say. He doesn't need to be talking about it, in my opinion, publicly. So I'm glad he didn't come on the show, because if he came on the show, I would have had to like pull punches on questions and stuff like that, which I don't want to do that. I want
even in his apology, he did say, like, he said, he apologized that people felt bad or something like that. He apologized for people having a bad feeling, even hearing about the allegations. Is that right? Am I remembering that right?
You are, and of course,
and that made me think, oh man, people are going to read that as guilt all day long. Like you gave him way too much.
Yep, he should not. I'm not his lawyer. I was in no. He'd actually made those first two statements before I think before I even talked to him. But those two statements, I think, were ill-advised, because he shouldn't have apologized, because it, like you said, they read into it that his apology is apologizing for all of the vicious rapes that he did, when actually he was apologizing that anyone might have walked away from him and felt at all uncomfortable, which is completely different. But as you guys know this, the audience knows this, you can never, ever, ever apologize for something like this. You just can't, because if you do,
it's blood in the water.
They'll just feed it to you.
It's blood in the water once you do that. You just can't. You just can't do that.
You can't apologize for something you didn't do. Like,
right.
Well, yeah.
That doesn't exist. You apologize once, people think, well, you did something. Because you don't apologize for shit that you don't do, unless your wife's bullying you into it or your girlfriend's bullying you into it.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be real though. Even if it's something you did do, people see, especially in mobs like this, people see apologies as weakness. And so you need to think long and hard before you do that. Now, if it's something you really feel like you need to do, and it's just, in your heart that you feel like you need to apologize, do it. But think long and hard before you do it, because the people who are your biggest critics, who want to just see you broke and defeated and homeless and, killing yourself, they're going to see that as blood in the water, and they're going to double, triple, quadruple their efforts to make you pay. And then once they have an apology out there, well, he admitted to it, it usually it doesn't make the pain subside. Most of the time it makes it even worse. So
Yep.
That's Nick, can you talk about how you started the GoFundMe? Because that's been the best, like, seeing you just take it and champion the cause and like create a legal defense fund out of nothing for this dude with, you know, like he never promoted it. The law firm never promoted it. It just kind of appeared. You ran with it. And it seems like you just did a tremendous act of good against a guy getting his life ruined over literally nothing, over these fucking broads.
Well, I started talking about the case. I started learning about Vic. I talked to Vic quite a bit. I talked to him quite a bit about his situation, and my conclusion was, you know, the effort against you is multiple people. Some of them are high profile. There's some companies involved, and if you've got any shot at this, in my opinion, you're going to need a bunch of money. But he had a very positive fan base that was basically begging him to stand up and fight.
Yeah.
And that became apparent from the first time I talked about it. People were very passionate. So I said, you know what? Diversity in Comics was able to raise like $100,000 for his legal defense. The Quartering raised quite a bit of money before he shut down his GoFundMe, something like 20 grand or something like that. And I said, you know what, I know we can raise at least 50 grand for Vic if we try. And that'll go a long way. Here's the problem with a case like his. Your income has just been removed from you. So now you've got whatever you've got. So you go to a lawyer who's not a bargain bin attorney like me. You go to you go to the type of firm that can handle a situation like this, and they're going to ask you for an ungodly amount of money, and you have to look at your bank account and say, that's X% of what I have left. Can I give that to this other person? Can I possibly afford to do that? And what happens if I give it to him and we don't win? Then how do I eat? Right? Like that's the question. So I asked him very politely. I said, look, I think we can raise a lot of money. I think it'll give you a lot more options than you have right now. Can I please do this? You don't have to be involved. And he said, as long as it's clear that I am not asking for anything, if you want to do this, go ahead. Thank you so much for doing that. But I would never ask my fans for money. I said, don't worry, I will ask them all day, because we need guys to stand up. Vic's the perfect guy to stand up for this type of thing. And I think we need to make this a model to fight back against this stuff. And
I was just going to ask that, like, there really needs to be a playbook for this kind of stuff. So to at least produce a chilling effect for the women that would just make shit up.
Right, because the playbook right now is to either apologize or turn gay or whatever, and just lose. They all lose. There's no recourse. You've got allegations that are 10 years old, 20 years old. They can't be proven. They never go to the cops. They've never been tested in the process, and you don't get to face your accusers. All you can do is humbly apologize and beg to be let back in. And of course, they're never going to let you.
And the allegations seem kind of weak. Like, you grabbed a woman's hair and licked her on her cheek and said, I love you. Like, what the fuck? That's more offensive than... That's the worst thing I ever did? Come on! I've done that to my dad. Give me a break.
Yeah, and some of the offenses, one of them was literally this chick Mars girl said she's met him 3 times and one has been unpleasant and the other 2 were just normal. And people asked her about the unpleasant one, and she says, well, I was in an elevator and he came in and with a woman, and their arms were around each other and they were both drunk and they were kissing each other, and then they got off the elevator and went to his hotel room, and it made me really uncomfortable for her.
And
it's like, oh my God.
At me and the baby waved at me.
Yeah, jump off of a short bridge just into some water or whatever and live through it, but then go play Minecraft and die there. Because like, if you can't deal with normal adult interactions of 2 people consensually going to hook up or whatever they're going to do, I mean, what the hell's your problem? Why is this your issue? But this is one of the person who is most adamantly against him online. and lawyer up, sweet cheeks. Uh, but she has been running just full bore, creating the hashtag and inserting it on all of these stories. She thinks she's immune from a lawsuit because she, quote unquote, didn't make any stories up. She just passed them along. Well, I'm sorry, sweet cakes. That's not how defamation works. You are definitely on the chopping block there.
Well, friendly advice. Consult your legal counsel there.
Unfriendly advice.
Yes,
Consult some expensive legal counsel, because legal aid isn't going to help you unless you're Somali and have babies all over the place.
All right, let me.
Oh wait, that might just be in Minnesota.
let me read a few of these. Deep Fried Lettuce says Castbox is run by the Chinese. Zidane is in China. Coincidence? Not at all. Zidane's the one that set that up. By the way, I'm joking. Bonezone says, are you and Andy straight up living together now? I think I might have read that one. Yes, we are. David Bakey says, I may have a really good alternative you should look into since StreamMe is kill. www.thetoken.org, completely decentralized video streaming that reward both the content creator and viewers with crypto. Also, screw YouTube. I will look into that. Although I have to say, we had 4,400 a minute ago. It's right around that now. Trending top 10 on YouTube. I think it's been a pretty successful, so far, return to YouTube. And thank you all for watching. I don't know. It's kind of a weird feeling, honestly. I did not really think we would be back here on this level again on YouTube. So thank you. And most of all, thank you to Mamology 101. Absolute legend. Gojira says Donga is stream sniping you. Yes, I fully realize that. Good luck, Donga. HH says, since this is on YouTube, are we getting Josh? I mean, if he wanted to jump on, I don't know if he's going to do that or not. But originally he was scheduled to be on this program. Panzerfowl says, take a look at this story. Oh, that's a little Stream Me flashback too. Let me see if I can search that. I will take a look at that for sure. Okay, I think I see that. Okay, thank you. Onion Wizard said, imagine being scared of keyboard warriors on 8chan. Yeah, Stream Me caving into that. It's just, look, they got into the habit of watching the board over there, and I fully understand. I've been in the same habit a couple times myself. But at a certain point, you just have to turn that shit off. It's not worth even playing into. And just by continuing to read, psychotic comments about, you should die and your family should die, and I hope this guy's homeless. Like, you already know what they're going to be doing, trying to dig up every single piece of information on you or anybody you're associated with. So just assume the worst, and you have everything that's going on there. So why even pay attention to it? Mike's content says totally dead show. Quote Fap Spatch Zoom. Dale D says make sure everyone cancels any donation arrangements they have with StreamMe. Now they haven't told me, what's going on with all that, so I couldn't say. Network 23 says great comeback. Keep fucking that chicken, man. Thank you. I don't know. I haven't had any.
Gross.
I haven't had any chicken sexual relations, but
you haven't? Oh, you think apple pie is good? Warm apple pie, a cold, just thawed chicken.
Cold chicken pussy is
Look, I've never been attracted to a chicken, but I was just down in Texas and I went to Buc-ee's. And if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, may God have mercy on you. It's the greatest gas station on earth. It's also the size of a Walmart. But at the Buc-ee's, they had chickens stuffed with sausage and crawfish jambalaya. And I was like, what? Why? Why can I buy this at a gas station in Texas and no one's ever even heard of it in Minnesota? It made me very, very sad and also a little aroused.
Now, let me ask you, this made me think of something. Have you ever had boiled peanuts?
No, I don't think so.
Did you even know that was a thing?
No.
I didn't really know.
What's a boiled peanut?
Okay.
So, I mean, I get what it is, but what is it?
So I didn't really know it's a thing. I'm from the South originally, obviously Memphis, Tennessee. I think if you've watched this program more than 10 minutes, you probably heard me talk about it. I'm from Memphis. I moved to South Carolina when I was about 21 years old. And in the Spartanburg region, Georgia region around there, boiled peanuts are a huge thing. And yeah, Georgia thing. It's definitely a Georgia thing. It's just like sloppy, wet nasty peanuts. And I apologize to anybody who likes them, but they are absolutely disgusting.
That sounds horrible.
No, why not just eat a regular? I love peanuts by themselves; they're delicious, but boiled peanuts are disgusting. I don't know. Maybe it's just, and you could tell that to some people around that region, and they just won't believe it. But if you go into gas stations around there, they all sell boiled peanuts, and they'll have it in like a pot, like you would have a crock pot with stew or something in it. They'll have it full of boiled peanuts.
Do they boil them in something like a seasoning mix, or like a shrimp boil?
Well, I only ever tried them once. I don't know. There might be different flavors, maybe some seasoning or something. I guess for me, it's just the consistency of peanuts. It's supposed to be, kind of dry and stuff like that. And it's just wet and all. I don't know. Have you ever had boiled peanuts?
So bad. No, they sound like I like my peanuts like I like my titties, sloppy and wet.
I think George
wants to try these out. They sound like beans. They sound like a white man's beans. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, let me read a few more. Colin Stevens says, welcome back. Fuck your barbecue. Missed the show. Thank you, sir. Memphis barbecue is still the best, though. Dr. YT Bulgerson says, Ralphie boy, this is just what you needed. I'm pumped. I'm pretty pumped, too, I have to say. Dan Chiorte says, change channel name to Killstream featuring Ethan Ralph, Dope Minecraft, Mimology 101. Do never change this channel name, Mimology. Oh, man, I still can't get over that. Just so many people are telling him not to, and he just absolutely just stuck his neck out with no fucks given. I could never repay his generosity here. Rick Nikita says, can't abort the retort. Turns out you can't, sir. Somebody said that once. Dan says, imagine my shock. The A-Logs, Chan posters, and Doxers got the site shut down due to their autism. After Zoom and Dispatch joined the site. Dr. YT Bulgerson then says again, can't abort the retort. Literally nobody says, good luck, Ralph. Hope the Spurs don't nuke this. I was a supporter on Streamy. Do you know if they canceled those before nuking the site? I do not know that. I would assume they're not going to recharge people for things that they're not receiving, being able to be a supporter and have the supporter badge on the site. That's just me assuming, though, so I don't know. Again, they're going to have a meeting on Wednesday. I'm assuming, we'll hear more then. But Dan Chiorta says, show name, not channel. Spurg Meister says, Ralph, good to see you back. Peg leg porker or Woodford Reserve or something different. I'm enjoying myself some peg leg porker for the first time. It's funny you mentioned peg leg porker because I had never had peg leg porker until a gentleman who is on this stream, Mr. Nick Rekieta, gifted me a bottle in Knoxville, and it is absolutely delicious. If you'll say which is better, peg leg porker is better than Woodford Reserve. But
it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good, but you have to go to their place to get, it's not that easily acquired. You can get Woodford almost anywhere. But yeah, peg leg porker is delicious, and I thanked him for this already, but thank you again for that bottle, sir.
Yeah, man.
IT Weeb says, glow in the dark basketball Americans are back on YouTube. Spooky Weeb Trash says, love you, Nick. You were great to meet in Knoxville. Knoxville was so much fun. I hate the drama that has happened since because it's just kind of, I don't know. I'll still never, disavow. I had such a good time there, but it is kind of a downer. But oh well, fuck it.
Maybe now that you're on YouTube, everyone could be friends again.
Yeah, now that we're drawing 4K again, maybe Coach will come back around, But we'll see.
Stream.me was haunted, and it turned us all into jerks. That's what happened. So let's just all forget about what happened over there.
Just forget about it. Move on. Let's put some smiles on faces again.
Forget about who fucked who, allegedly.
Dove and Dev says, if you're living with Andy, what's happened between you and Nora? Nothing's happened. She's still my lovely wife. She'll be here on the 30th. She's still going to school in the UK. She's moving here later.
He just
year,
is Mormon now and has a husband also.
I have a husband on the side. Nah, we're still married. She's going to be here on the 30th, and we're going to New York City. So that should be fun for our anniversary period, actually. So Colonel J says, Ralph, no. Streamy was supposed to be your burial ground. Now you're back on YouTube, have 3.5K live viewers. You're actively ruining your detractors' mood. Kiwi Farms and Cow eternally BTFO'd. Yes, let me correct you, though. That was a little while ago. We have almost 4,400 viewers at this point. But, yeah, I will say it has put a little smile on my face seeing the turnout here. Now I don't know if it'll be this big every night. We had a little hype going into this, but yeah, I would be lying if I said I didn't have a little extra pep in my step just thinking about them wringing their hands about this entire stream. Okay, I'll read some more in a minute, but
you can hear it. You can hear that pep.
You can. You can feel it. Yeah. I mean, like I said,
Sounds like a man who's wearing track pants over there. He's got a big old swagger, swinging his dick around.
Well, you know, they counted me out, Dick, and they actually said that this was going to be pretty much the beginning of the end, if not the absolute end of the Killstream, this stream tonight. That this was it. No way Ralph can come back from this. It's over. There's been so much drama the last couple weeks. Streamy's been deleted. They counted me out once again, and here we are.
You can't abort the retort. No matter what kind of laws you pass, you can't abort the retort.
They're going to keep trying, though, but they'll keep failing. All right, before I'm going to read all these, like I said, but new Project 2, how's that going, Dick?
Good. We got payouts working now, which I didn't think was a priority, but I guess everyone wanted me to give them their money eventually. It's good. It's good, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting to work with the bank, and it's been interesting to see exactly what goes into making this possible. And it seems like we have to. We're at a moment when we have to. Like, people have to start stepping up and doing what they're good at, and taking the internet back piece by piece. Like, I wanted to ask Nick too, like, what it would take to streamline the process that he's done for other guys, like guys who aren't huge celebrities, huge anime celebrities, and don't have an army of weebs out there to fund their lawsuits. Like, what would it take to get more lawyers involved in shutting this shit down, in your opinion? Like an EFF, but for the law.
Yeah. For one way to do it for now is to contact me. Is to contact me directly with a legitimate situation where this is happening. It doesn't have to be an e-celeb thing. It doesn't have to have that. But, as with all things, having a dedicated fan base is going to give you certain advantages, right? Like the ability to raise a bunch of money. But if this is happening to other people, and we know it does, you can't fight on the same ground that we've been fighting on. It has to be done in a different way. I'm hoping that we are creating a model for it. Well,
it's like DUI attorneys. Like, every time I turn on the TV or drive by a billboard, it's like, oh, does call 1-800 Top Gun DUI. Like, we need that for sexual assault, whatever it is, Me Too shit.
For now, it's talk to me. And if it's something I can help with, I'm working on building a network of lawyers. I need more lawyers in more states than I currently have connections to, that I trust and that are competent and that have resources, because I don't. Like, I'm very honest about it. My practice is small. It's in a very small town. I deal with little issues. I'm trying to set up a way to get people to that bigger, the bigger firms with more resources to do it. The other thing that I'm considering doing is setting up an ongoing legal defense fund for things like this, because that at some point, depending on the charges, if they're criminal charges against someone, GoFundMe won't let you crowdfund them. And that's a real dangerous thing, in my opinion. So there has to be a legal defense.
So they only let it go for civil charges? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. GoFundMe does not allow, in their terms of service, at their sole discretion, of course, but defense for crimes that involve either harassment or, assault type behavior.
So it's basically, like you said, at their discretion if they want to let it say. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't want to be funding accused rapists. Vic, of course, has the advantage of not being charged with anything ever, as far as criminal charges go. So that helps for him. But no, I am really looking to build a streamlined process. I'm hoping that this model works in the way I think it will. And what I want to mention to everybody, because this is really, really important, it's not always about winning in court. Like, we do have to have some reality checks on this. I'm going to be talking about this a little more on my channel tonight, is that it's not necessarily about winning in court. It's about getting enough information, getting enough, I guess, hype, for lack of a better word, about this to overcome the allegations, even if you can't defeat them in the court of law. That's the real challenge here. That's part of the model, is that I do think Vic can certainly win some of these court cases, but the reality is you never know what's going to happen at the end of the day. And we have to be able to turn a loss into a win. Lawyers are very, very good at that. I don't know if people realize that we have ways to turn losses into wins. It just matters on what your goal is with what you're doing. I want people to know that I am very conscious of the possibility of Vic losing these cases and still turning that into a win. And I assume his lawyer is also very conscious of that possibility. That doesn't mean that we can't turn this into a practical victory. And I think we can do both, legal and practical. But I want to build a model for it, and so hopefully it becomes something where the next guy who's going through this, or girl, because they get, this happens all the time to women. That's a joke. Obviously, please clap. No, that's for the next guy to have this happen to him. I do want to be the first person that they call, because I think with appropriate planning, we can start pushing this stuff back. It's got to go. It's got to go. So.
Now let me ask you guys. This is completely off topic. Now, originally this was going to be one of the top. You guys had already agreed to come on the show, but I didn't know Streamy was going to, and Hero today. So that wasn't part of the discussion originally. One of the things that was, though, was Michael Jackson. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the developments, and we don't have to talk about it long, but I guess it's something that's kind of perked my interest because after he killed himself, well, he didn't kill himself, whatever, overdosed, it kind of rewrote a lot of the history, or at least people wanted to forget it because they love Billie Jean and Thriller and Bad and all the, I mean, admittedly, I like some of those songs too. And they just kind of, put all the child molestation stuff to the side, didn't really talk about it anymore. And those kids probably lying anyway. Let's not speak of it. I want to play Thriller and dance in the, grocery aisle while I'm buying more Cocoa Puffs or whatever. I don't want to think about him molesting these children. And then the documentary, I think it was aired, I want to say it was aired last night on HBO. It's been all over the media, where it's getting a second look, and a lot of people are basically bringing the stuff back up and saying he's full of shit and he actually did molest those children. I don't know, I guess you could weigh in on it first, Nick. What do you think about the new dust up over Michael Jackson?
I haven't been following it. I'll see if I can find the documentary and watch it. What I have problems with some of the accusers. So I don't know. I don't know what happened at Neverland Ranch. What I do know is the way my buddy Drexel puts it is, you ask people, would you or do you believe Michael molested those kids? And people say, oh, no. And he'll say, okay, would you send your kids to Neverland Ranch? Hell no.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if he did or didn't. Now, one of the things that they press X the doubt about what they're not kids now, they're grown men, is I think they both, I want to say both, but at least one of them testified. He went on trial for allegations in 2005, I want to say, with a another kid, and he won the case. And at least one of these guys, I want to say both, actually testified that he never molested them. This is all bullshit. And now they're coming out and saying he did, and people are saying, well, believe all victims, and it took time to gather the courage to say that. Is there any merit in that, or you think
every time I think I have this one figured out, I get stumped? Like I used to go like, oh yeah, he definitely molested those kids, and then I get dumped a ton of knowledge on me, like, oh, okay, well, I guess not. No, he definitely didn't. I get another book dumped on me. Like, at this point, I'll just take Thriller. I don't.
You're just gonna listen to. He made Thriller. That's the Dave Chappelle thing. Fuck it. He made Thriller. Whatever. I'm just gonna.
You know, people in the chat are mentioning Razor Fist, who's done actually a really good video on this,
Yeah.
and I think Razor raises some really, really good points and casts a lot of doubt on the accusations. And here's one of the biggest problems, of course, is that Michael, was sued for this thing before, and then he prevailed, and then one of the families sent their kid back and sued him the second time, and that's the one he settled. Why did you send your kid back? Like, what are you doing? If you believe that he molested your child, would you these people are sending their kid back to the same place? This is
He
one of the
seems-
problems with trusting the accusers here, is that they have some really shady sort of behavior, and their ulterior motive is $20 million, right? Like that's
That's a good payday.
That was
I
the
have to
purchase
say.
price.
Yeah.
He seems almost too weird to me to believe that he molested kids. Like, if he was a little less weird, then I would believe it. Like the Jimmy Seville stuff and any other the singers up there, Spacey. Like, okay, you guys are a little bit weird. I believe it, but Michael Jackson's walking around like Daffy Duck. It's too like no, it's too weird. Maybe he got in bed with them and played Nightcrawler or something. They all drank Jesus juice and passed out. That's weird, but you're gonna have to dial the weird back a little bit on that guy for me to just buy it.
All right. By the way, Gator, are you here?
I am actually here. So
Wow.
you're blowing my cover.
What's up, Gator?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on? See, I was ready for the show because it's back on YouTube at 11:05. So I went out and did some errands and stuff. Apparently, in that time frame, I've quit the show like 5 times. I've been fired like 6.
Yeah, you quit. Zidane is running ops on me, and he's wanting to see my family killed, and both of you guys hate me, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going around like that.
He defected to the communist Chinese.
Yeah, there's all kinds of interesting theories going on. And by the way, if of course people don't know everything that we know, but the absolute last people to fuck me over would be Gator and Zidane, just 2 of the best people I've ever known. So yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous type talk. But anyway, do you have any thoughts? We have Dick Masterson and Rekieta here. We've been talking for a good while now. You have any questions for either one of those gentlemen?
Yeah, I've been content to sit back and listen. You guys have had some great stuff. Glad to see the new project 2 is doing well.
Dude, honestly, the best part is that there's a couple guys, there's at least 5 artists who are on there who got banned from everything and have no other choice. So just them being on there is fucking great for me. Like everybody else kind of has a choice. They do Patreon. They could go to Subscribestar, which seems like a scam version of Patreon. Like their terms of service are the Subscribestar terms of service are like Patreon plus like shit that you couldn't do in 3rd grade. Like you can't make fun of people based on their age on Subscribestar. Whatever. So many people have a choice on either one of those, but for the guys that are actually banned from everything because some 25-year-old bitch with a communications degree who's never had to actually work for $1 in her life just didn't like one of their comics, being able to get them paid is great.
All right, let me read a few of these. Where am I at? I'm not used to the super chat menu. It's been a while. Let's see, where am I at? The Packard Goose says Ralph and Andy is best fanfic. Here's Tree 50. By the way, that better have been a joke, and he didn't actually rub his balls on my laptop. Of course, I guess I won't. There's no way to know. But Dr. Wati Balderson says poll. Yeah, we can't run polls here. Well, we can, but they're informal. That was probably the best thing about streaming is the formal polls that we had. But I guess that's it. The poll just have to be my erect penis from the turnout here tonight. SS says go see Alita Battle Angel. It's a great movie. Okay, I'll put that in. I'll search that and leave that up on my menu. Maybe I will. Loser Man says Sweetie Squad, Boomers Rise Up. Hashtag GG 2.0 is here. Says Oy vey, what are you doing here? Someone alert the Asian lady. from a certain publication that I'm just going to refrain from naming because maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't poke the bear, if you know what I mean. Captain,
We support Asians. We love Asians.
we love
love all
Asians,
people.
media. We love those people. All that. Please,
All
We love our
journalistic
cops.
publications.
yes, please leave us alone, Captain.
We hate sick children because we're in the alt-right. We hate them. Give us a platform to talk about how much we love cancer, especially children attacking cancer. We'll say it every day. Welcome to the alt-right Killstream hour, where we hate children.
Dice
No,
David. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I hate consent to... Go ahead, sorry.
I've learned the secret. Of course, Bronx blogger called me the alt-right attorney or whatever, and then that's been rumbling around on various forums like Pretty Ugly Little Liars or whatever. So I introduced my show on Thursday as the alt-right attorney, and some guy actually tweeted me in DMs, and he's like calling me alt-right, and I'm like, why do you keep calling me alt-right? He's like, you called yourself alt-right. So just so you know, it's whatever you label yourself as true. So I'm now the official Antifa attorney, and Antifa, I can speak on their behalf. What they want to do is Antifa hates all people who count money for a living, and they want to put them on trains.
By the way,
I've
can
learned
I
that.
ask you real quick?
So-
And we played. You were in actually the show's Discord and got into an argument with Bronx Blogger, and we played it on air. And I don't think I mean, I talked to you privately since then, but I don't think you've been on the show since then.
No.
Where do they get the alt-right lawyer accusation? I don't really understand where that comes from.
I think it's because, it's your fault, probably.
That's a problem. Honestly, it probably is now that you mentioned it, but yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm bad at being alt-right in so many ways. I don't care if people are alt-right. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me if people are genocidal maniacs. Honestly, I don't care. So I think that's the deal, is that I won't unperson someone because of their political opinion, and if that makes you alt-right, I guess. And I also talked about how James Fields could maybe defend and win his case. Of course, that was under the assumption that we had an unbiased and fair criminal process, because James Fields got absolutely railroaded, whether or not he wanted to kill that fat chick or not.
Okay, expound now. You know what I'm gonna have to say. Expound upon that a little bit. Sorry if I'm getting you in trouble, but
No,
I actually feel the same way. I know people probably clip this or whatever. But yeah, let me hear from the attorney first, though. Why do you feel that way?
How could they even prove that he would know his car would hurt her? Like, if I look at the two of them, I think that car's going to get really messed up if he hits a girl of that size.
Yeah, and I have
exactly.
I have to officially disavow this segment on behalf of the CEO of the Killstream Memology. Let's but seriously, in all seriousness, there were people. He was in a crowd of hostiles. There were people who have went on record saying they, like held up guns and threatened him. I don't know. I just feel like that there was definitely doubt there in terms of what they were charging him with.
There is reasonable doubt. There's pictures of his car being hit by people with sticks and flagpoles and things like that. If I am not a collision expert, for a forensic collision expert, but I look at there's a spot on his windshield that is spidered out, and it looks like a baseball bat hit it. And it does not look like it's a result of the front-on collision with a car. It's on the bottom right of the windshield. You can passenger side. You can see it from the alternate angles of the pictures. There's of course the limp-wristed professor who was boasting.
That's who I was talking about.
Boasting, yeah, that he waved Fields on with his AR-15, and so proud to do that. And then when they had him testify, he testified that he thought it was his car, but he could have been mistaken, despite being on video, clearly cheering on the fact that he waved on that specific car. And then, of course, the prosecuting attorney said, he did say that he couldn't remember if he raised the gun, and we have to know that there could have been a different Dodge Charger that he was waving at. You know, like all this absolute nonsense for overcoming the reasonable doubt that that Fields might have actually been afraid in a crowd of hostiles who were attacking his car. Again, I don't know if James Fields tried to kill that lady or tried to.
Well, yeah,
run
maybe
into
he
people.
did. Yeah.
He very well could have, but using the evidence, like the very fact that the judge admitted evidence of him sending a picture of Hitler to his mother as proof of intent to kill a white woman is really, really strange. Like what the hell
Yeah,
is
Hitler
going
was not
on?
trying to kill white women.
Yeah, well, maybe he had something against large white women. Maybe he only
Maybe
wanted
he was
to-
just trying to save the puppet that she had swallowed.
All right, let me read some super chats really quick. Captain Weave says, "Welcome home, Ralph. Happy to hear the stream, dude. Thank you, sir." Dice David, I think I already read that, but Dice David says, "Did you see that Google pays women more than men?" I did not see that, but
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
did you see it? Well, what do you know about it, Dick?
They ran a study to make sure that they were paying everybody. They ran a study to see how evil they were and make sure that all the genders were being paid equal. And they found that they don't pay men. The men are underpaid when doing similar roles in the company. That's great.
Well, I mean, so yeah, I agree with that, but also, I mean, at least so you see a lot of these political campaigns, you know, on the left, and they're like, well, you know, women should be more empowered, and they're getting underpaid. And then you look at the payroll of the campaigns, and most of the top people are men, and then on average, the men are getting paid, you know, thousands, usually tens of thousands of dollars more than the women. So maybe you could say, well, at least in this case, Google's kind of living up to what they're, you know, claiming to be about. But yeah, it's still bullshit. All right. Mr. Misanthropic of Gulf City says, all hell blew well. Maddox lost. Tonka lost. Kumite close to AIDS. Daddy, no! Mine's nowhere near as good as Nick's, but he already did one tonight, so I won't ask for another. Bipolar Bear says, welcome back, Ralph. Dick for president 2020. Would you ever want to be president, Dick?
Hell yeah, I would want to be president. I would want to be vice president for a while first, though, to get all the goofball stuff out of my system, to get all my catchphrases out. Like, I'd rather be. I would be president, you know, if I was asked, but I'd much rather be vice president. Nick could be president, and I'll just be in there wearing some shades, keeping things loose.
That's a deal. It's a deal. You can be my running mate
to
any day.
apologize for. You know.
Now, let me ask you this, though, Nick. Have you ever thought about running? A serious question. Have you ever thought about running for political office?
I did until last year until about October 2017 when I realized there was a picture of me in blackface floating around the internet.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you should have to? Like everybody's got one of those.
Yeah.
That's like a credential at this point. Now,
Yeah.
since you brought it up, I had no idea until you and Bronx started arguing. I didn't know that existed. And I think you talked about this on your own show, but the blackface thing, just real quick, what was that all about? And
I mean, my one of my very best friends for a very long time. I mean, since we've been friends since we were about 15 years old. I invited him over to a Halloween party the year after I graduated from undergrad, and I had he used to roommate with me. And I had taken some of his clothes as a joke and I wore them. And then I bought some like $3 face paint from Walmart to do the worst imitation of him I could. Is like wrong shade of brown and everything. And I bought like a $3 crappy afro because I used to have to sit there for this guy and he would get a heat pick out. And if we were going to go eat or something, he'd be like, yeah, just a second, I have to do my hair. And he would heat pick his hair out into like a 10-inch afro, which takes hours. I mean, if you've never had to endure it. And so you'd just be sitting there waiting. So I bought this crappy afro, garbage face paint and did like just a rush job, just slathered it on so that when he got to my house, my wife answered the door and let me know that it was him. And so then I came downstairs dressed up in his clothes and painted. And the whole joke, like people keep talking about blackface, which is a joke about making fun of black people. I was making fun of me because I was like 100 pounds lighter than him at this point and 6 inches shorter. So he's this monstrous man, and I was like this skinny white kid. That was the joke, was that I'm dressed up as him, and it's so embarrassing because of how much smaller I was. So that's
And you're wearing his clothes and stuff too.
yeah. So it looked just
Single white
retarded.
female.
Now, real
But,
quick, do you regret doing that?
No, not for a moment.
I mean, I don't think you should either, but that's what you're supposed to ask.
I regret that I have to tell the story like every 3 weeks because it gets annoying, and it just shouldn't be an issue. Like here's the dangerous talk. Even if it was real blackface, it really shouldn't be an issue because we should be able to just go, okay, whatever. I disagree with that and move on. But
well,
I
even
don't
if you
regret
think it was
doing-
bad and it was something you shouldn't have done, like, oh, okay, that was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. Does that mean you should be disqualified from public life forever? That type of attitude is
No.
ridiculous.
No, nothing should be disqualifying.
Yeah.
On its face.
Well,
on
yeah.
its face, because it's always context. I mean, I guess some things.
I mean, nothing like that. If you molested children or did something just completely,
pedos shouldn't be in office.
Yeah.
It annoys me that they
Looking
call
at you,
it
Hillary.
blackface because the lips aren't there. Like, it's obviously not blackface. It's not very good blackface, even if that's what you were going for.
Right. No, it would be terrible. If I were trying to do blackface, I would have done a much better job, and I would have dressed in a generalized fashion, or like a generalized
way.
Right. I
Yeah.
would not have worn his outfit. That was the joke. But what do you do? No, I don't regret it. I still think it's funny. We still laugh about it. There was never any offense or malice intended towards a guy who's been a very good friend to me for a very long time and had my back when I needed him, and I've had his back when he's needed me. So whatever. People will always find something to hate you for. So
all right, let me read these. Alanis Morissette says, "Isn't it ironic?" It is ironic in many ways, especially this show tonight. Yellow Flash 2 says, "Great new show, Mimology. Loving the new talent." Howitzer Bob Ross says, "Fuck Zoom. Never bring him on anything in any capacity. He's try hard, cancer, in human form." Again, I squashed the beef with Zoom, and I got to give him a lot of credit, especially today. He really stepped up. Now, it didn't end up helping, but he was on top of shit with StreamMe. I don't know. I really am set. I'm happy with the show tonight, and obviously we've had a big return to YouTube, but just what happened with StreamMe, it is depressing when I think about it. Sheckelmeister says, "Sorry, I was doing homework, have a midterm and a big project due this week. Didn't have time to watch. See ya in Miami, though. Just brought a new camera." Oh, you might get a Gunt picture live in person. Yeah, Miami. Miami, March 11th through the 16th, but we're leaving the morning of the 16th, so basically just through the 15th. Cynic in Chief says, "So Andy is shacking up with another fatty." That's true. Sloppy Lion but Snobby Lion says, "Question for Nick. Is there any way for the Killstream to get back on YouTube permanently?" I don't know if Nick knows the answer to that, but we're here tonight and it's going well, so.
You can't punt the gun.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think if YouTube says you can't own a channel, then you don't own a channel, and that's fine as long as they adhere to that. That's really the policy. Killstream is just a show. Technically, you could sell the rights to anybody you wanted to the Killstream, and then they could hire a host to do
And just to take the name and put a replacement Ralph in here. Yeah.
Now, what YouTube will do and not do, that ultimately is the question. But,
well,
who knows?
my understanding, and Keemstar, obviously his channel has 4 or 5 million subs. He's banned from YouTube. He's not allowed to own a channel, and he came back, and somebody else, owns that channel, and he's an employee of the channel. And I've talked about coming back to YouTube before I pretty much called it the Keemstar loophole. But that is, other people have done it besides him too. I mean, and as you see, the stream's still up despite, I'm not an idiot. I saw, 20, 30 people trying to flag it down. But we're still here. So, Let's see. Ralph, people say to read regular chat. Yeah, I should read regular chat a little bit more. I see. She's funny. Replacement Gunt, Game Freak 2998. Brent Lee says stream.me is no more. That's true. GG 2.0 says Mumpke tried that.
His
Yeah.
girlfriend's channel got deleted.
I mean, it's up to their discretion, right? So they could take it down or they could not. Some people suggested maybe the Killstream name itself, maybe call it something else. That's a fair. The meme stream, I actually kind of like that. That's Mamology himself in the chat. I have thought about changing the name a little bit. I even mentioned that to him. I was like, should we actually do the Killstream name? And he's like, personally, I don't care. Maybe if work on it if you end up staying here and change it later. But Mimology's just a fucking boss. He's like fucking Scarface in this bitch. No fucks given. Tony Montana. Just unreal. So many people were in the chat, concerned trolls, and people who actually, hate me, basically. Like, don't do this, Mimology. What are you doing? What? Please stop. No, he's going to ruin you. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Just no fucks given. Just a fucking absolute legend. Oh, by the way, Nick, I know you said you had to go at a certain point, so I don't want to keep you whenever you have to dip out. I know you have a stream coming up in 12, and pretty much I'm just going to be the lead into your stream, and I'm going to sign off by then, so...
yeah, man, I actually do have to buzz because my guest again is Ty Beard,
Sure.
who is
You got to change and shower and stuff and put on your nice dress shirt, right?
No, but I've got to make sure that he is not a streamer or broadcaster of any kind, and so I have to make sure that I can give him my boomer experiences so he doesn't have them, and we get the audio set up. So
now let me ask you. Oh, by the way,
go ahead.
No, thank you, sir, so much for coming on. I can't imagine this show could have went any better, actually. And that's due in large part to yourself. I wanted to ask you, what are you drinking tonight during your stream?
I have this Glenlivet Nadura single malt. It's the Oloroso version. There's 3 versions, but it's 61% alcohol. And it's aged in sherry casks, so it's got a sweet finish. It's really good. I strong recommend it.
Real quick before you go, I know you have to go. Real quick, God, this was originally going to be one of the main topics, but we had so much other shit. Just real quick as you can answer it. Michael Cohen and Trump, the way his former attorney has just completely gone out there and trashed him. Even if you take everything at face value and say it's all true, the way he's went out there and just. You could either say he's spilling the beans, you could say he's full of shit and he's lying. Could you ever imagine doing that to a client of yours? And do you think there's any legitimate reason for him to be doing this?
Good Christ, no, he should be executed. That, like, violating literally every part of the attorney oath. Here's the problem with Congress, right? A congressional hearing doesn't follow the federal rules of evidence. There's no way a court would accept testimony from someone who just pled to perjury several times, just pled guilty to perjury, and then was similarly disbarred for perjury, and also has violated his attorney-client privilege multiple times before the perjury. I mean, the fact that Congress even listens to him is embarrassing. In a civil or criminal court, this guy wouldn't even be allowed near the stand without so many disclaimers. Like, just remember, everything this guy says is probably a lie, because the only rule of evidence that we have where you're able to use a past act as reflection on a current character, like let's say some guy murders 10 people. You can't use the evidence that he murdered 10 people to say he murdered an 11th person. That's not allowed. But what you can do is say this guy lied 10 times and was convicted for perjury or fraud or something like that. He's probably lying now. That's how serious we take perjury in the legal system, because the words of one person can bury another. And the fact that Congress is even asking him questions after perjury is shameful. He should not be. And the perjury was to Congress. It's not like he just lied to you.
He perjured
well, now we
himself
want
to
your
the Congress. Yes.
Right. Now we want your opinion because it fits our confirmation
And also,
bias.
real quick,
No.
the judge would advise I mean, I'm assuming, I'm not a lawyer, I don't want to pretend like some of these other people, but would the judge himself not advise the jury that this guy's been convicted of perjury and stuff like that, or?
I mean, it would, if the judge even allowed him on stand.
Okay, might not even allow him. Okay.
Yeah, if the judge allowed him on stand, it would be up to the other attorney to lay the foundation for that problem with his character, the character for lying. But I mean, you wouldn't be able to object to it because it would be admissible under the rules to make very clear that this person is a liar who has been convicted for lying recently to the very body they're answering to in a court. Like, it would be like having someone get caught in a lie, shown to lie to that jury, and then come back the next day and testify as if they hadn't lied. That's what happened in Congress. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's unbelievable. Thank you, Nick, once again for coming on. I'm super happy that I got that in, and I almost forgot. Good luck with your stream tonight, although you don't need it, and hopefully we can have you back on here sometime soon.
Yeah, anytime, man. Just let me know. Thanks.
Will
Have
do.
a good one, Nick.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, talk to you later, Dick.
Good to talk
See you
to
guys
you,
later.
All
Take
right.
care, man.
Bye.
All right, let's read some of these. Where am I at? Okay. Okay, I left off there. Federal Reserve has committed treason, says government paper money is fraud. And then he says something negative about bankers that I won't repeat. He doesn't think they should be allowed around. Let's put it that way. Claire Shackelford says, thanks, Mamology. You are an hero to us all. She means a hero. But yes.
He is a hero. 80s girl said, asked me, he's like, would you let them stream on your channel? I said, fuck no, I don't get my channel deleted.
And you're being dead serious, dude. That's like, no. The fuck? Trying to get my shit deleted? No way.
I said, I don't know, D Live or something. I don't know. Would you let them stream on your channel? Fuck no.
Dude, no fucks given. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I mean, I didn't refuse it, but I was like, man, are you sure you want to let us go live? He's like, yeah, whatever. Like, if something happens, it happens. I'm not, he wasn't even fucked up about it. I mean, I just can't.
I got a good feeling about it though, because like I really think it's that you guys fucked with the charity thing, and now that you're not doing that, like it seems like it blew over, and so many other things got bad press between then and now that you're gonna be fine. Like,
I think so too.
Monkey's brand of humor specifically, I don't think they want. Like, they just don't want it on the platform. But I think you guys are so.
I think as long as we, mind the P's and Q's here, and don't get too reckless. Honestly, I think we'll be okay. And I said in my Discord, even people in the Discord who love the show, it's like, you're gonna get press F. This stream's not gonna last. What are you doing? And I said, you know what? I really don't think we're going to get struck down, because first off, we're actually following the letter of the law, so to speak here. And as long as we keep somewhat reasonable here on the stream, we should be okay. And it's so far we have been. Trollo says, hope everything works out with you and Andy as far as rooming together goes, even though I can't stand him. Good to see you back on YouTube, big guy. Thank you very much. Kawhi,
hey, if it goes bad, just call ICE on him.
What do you think about the whole Ralph Andy apartment experiment?
I think it's like a reboot of Perfect Strangers. I think.
You actually told me that privately, and I busted out laughing. All right. Kawaii Potato says, donating for Masterson, always the best part of any podcast appearance. Hashtag Los Angeles based and red pilled comedian.
Hey, thanks, man.
Very good. By the way, we have, and I forgot, I just called.
Oh, dude, I got to thank you too for vouching for Soph.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can we talk about that really quick? Because I had Soph on the Killstream a couple times, and you were there one of the times when she called in during Jesse Lee Peterson's appearance. And some of these people were genuine, like, viewers of the show, and they were actually troubled. Now a lot of other people were just trolls or haters, and they're trying to say, oh, Ralph's disgusting, he's a pedophile for having this 14-year-old girl on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really, dead serious.
She's great.
She's awesome. And then I saw, a guy affiliated with your network or whatever on Twitter, asked to have her on your show, and of course I retweeted it because I retweet that person fairly often anyway. But one of the main reasons I retweeted it was because people just tried to absolutely slander me because I had her on the show, and to me she was one of the best guests of the whole entire year. And I'm not the only one who felt that way. And Jesse Lee Peterson wanted to have her on his show, and I had Keemstar on and ask him about it, and he's like, "No, this is not a regular, teenager. She's like 35 years old in terms of mentality." And
she's like a red-pilled prodigy, like a trolling prodigy, just coming out of the earth to red pill people.
Now, have you? No, go ahead. I was just gonna ask real quick though. Have you talk to her? Are you gonna have her on your show? Or
yeah, she said she was coming on. I'm really excited about it. I was giggling like a little girl when you vouched for me, and she said she was calling in. Her videos are great.
They are,
but it's like, how does this fit into your life? Like, do your parents know that you're doing this? Do you get it? Do you get punched up? Like, do you get your material punched up? Do you run it by dad first? What the hell's going on there? She's so fascinating just watching her videos. It was like a 20-minute dissertation on why school is like a prison for kids. And her editing is hilarious. I mean, I don't know. I have so many good things to say about her. I can't wait to talk to her.
I agree. I just wanted to bring that up because I just thought that criticism was ridiculous. But let's see. Oh,
and I also wanted, she also seems like a magnet for fucking weirdos.
That's true,
which I don't even know if I want to get into, but Jesus.
Denny Wright says, "Great return, Ralph. Check your email. I sent some fan art for you to show Dick, and he did, and I already had it pulled up. And I'm gonna pull it up for you to see. Let me make it a little smaller, and I'll leave it on the screen, and you can weigh in after I read a couple more super chats." Mace Dindu says, "Does Dick know what happened to Hee Silly? She's off social media."
Oh, she's fine.
Okay.
I don't know why she removed her. I think she's just doing it for fun.
Okay.
She doesn't care about Twitter.
Ursa Major says, "I've got a great absolute of a shocker story for both Dick and Nick. Hopefully they'll be able to share in a month or so. Also, what's your ship name going to be? Randy Andalf Ralphski Ethandy." Ralphski was the one that was going around yesterday, actually. Dr. YT Bulgerson says, "Haters are salty tonight, Ralph. Great stuff. 4.3K. A little bit lower now, but yeah, they are very salty. I don't blame them, honestly." Anthony Wildman just gave a super chat. Dollar didn't say anything. Kyle Fairchild says, "Get Mimology on." Yeah, if Mimology wants to hop on, I'd definitely be down for that. And I do have a few people on that I'm gonna bring on in a minute as we head towards the home stretch. We have taken lead-in status for Nick. God, he's fucking killing it. What do you think about that, Dick? Just his absolute meteoric rise.
I've gotten to see his evolution from the first Maddox lawsuit video, where seeing him turn in, like, he's evolved like a Pokemon. He came on kind of timid. It was like, who's this Ned Flanders fuck talking about this lawsuit? But now he just goes for the throat every time. Like, now I'm afraid to go on his show because he might have something on me. It's great. It's great, man.
Yeah, he's really definitely great. I will say this. He was on our show many times before. I will say he pulled punches, but now he absolutely gives no fucks.
He totally takes over the chat when he comes in.
Yeah, he's definitely just he's evolved into, full power level status. Let's see. Yellow Flash 2 says, "Mars Girl e-begged for an oil change on Twitch." I didn't see that, but that sounds about right. Saint Guillotine says, "If this works out, will YouTube back on Streamlabs?" I don't think Streamlabs, you know what? The reason Streamlabs gave for banning me was you got banned on YouTube. That was their full reason. That was it.
Wait, say that at Streamlabs did. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was their reasoning. So a bald guy creation says, "I sent you a DM on Twitter about the Richmond thingy. I will return that, by the way. Good to hear you sounding enthusiastic again. Signed, a fan of the Ralph community." He also knows I don't use the term community, but yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It has been, I don't know. I don't want to sound, gay or whatever, but yeah, it's been great. Alanis Morissette. It's too late. Yeah, it was too late a long time ago, but especially tonight. Atlantis Morissette says, open a tab for Molyneux's stream and shit post it. I don't know what's going on with Molyneux. I did see we were trending in the top 10. It's been a long while since that occurred. The Bone Zone says, Mars Girl was mad it wasn't her, arm in arm with Vic. Zemeckis Lebowski says, guess who? Welcome back to Worst Tube. Talbot Links says, boiled peanuts are the shiz. Some people absolutely love them, but to me, they're just, I don't know. I won't shit on them too much, but just not my thing. Bow Wow.
It sounds like something I would like. Mushy peanuts. Now I want to give them a shot.
You have to try them if you ever go down that area. You were in Atlanta. I don't know if they're a thing all the way down in Atlanta, but up in the northeastern corner of Georgia and up into South Carolina, they're huge around there. Bow Wow says,
I have peanuts in water. I think I could figure it out.
You could probably. I'm sure there's some, recipes. By the way, here's the art that they sent. Can you see that on the screen?
It's beautiful.
It's awesome, isn't it?
I fucking love it. I'm gonna print it on one of those sex pillows.
Yeah, dude, that's great. Okay. Bow Wow says, why does Kiwi Farms hate you now? I don't know that they all hate me, but I made the mistake of going on the thread and kind of talking shit. Probably not a good idea, but whatever.
Nope.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. But
Too bad.
Don't do it, but I did it. Sometimes, man, I can't resist.
You know what's great about Nick? He was a listener of the Dick Show from the very beginning. He was a Patreon supporter of the Dick Show. So I've always seen him in the Facebook groups interacting with people and talking shit. It was so cool to see him go from internet shit poster to like real life. This is my real life. Now to real life shit poster. Yeah. Anyway,
he's great, and then meeting him in Knoxville, he's even funnier, like off camera.
Yeah.
This guy's he's fucking hilarious. All right, where am I at? Panzer Faust says, Dame Pesos now. I'm gonna try to get Dame on Friday. It's been too long since I talked to the legend from Chile. Lindy Tranville says, best barbecue is Rocklands in DC. Go there. And then Vases Pizza. Bone Lord says, the Bone Zone welcomes Big Ralph back to the Big Tom. It is kind of, I enjoyed most of my time there at Streamy, but it kind of is like coming back up to the major leagues. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're kind of down the minors and you're trying to draw people over there as much as you can. And then all of a sudden you're back in the big leagues and there's 3,000 or 4,000 people watching you. And I understand this was a big night already, but yeah, it is kind of like that. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't just absolutely thrilled.
You don't have to apologize for anything.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to. I don't want to act like, oh no big deal. No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and it's just absolutely thrilling. I don't know how else to say it. What do you think, Gator? You've been very quiet this stream. What do you think, man?
I think I'm just glad to be back.
How does it feel?
Stream Me, you've seen Ghostbusters where there's like all the goop that's running under the city. I think that was what was happening at Stream Me, and it made all of us just irrationally angry at each other. And then you get back and you clean it out and you get the negative stuff out of there, and all of a sudden everything just feels better.
Yeah, and I think also, so YouTube obviously is a huge place, and you still argue with people and fuck with people, whatever, laugh at them on YouTube, but streaming, it's almost like being in the cell block, and not that I have been there myself, but you can't get away from these people. It's an enclosed space. They're always around you. They're right up on your shit. There's no escaping them every fucking second of every fucking day. They're in every single person's in every fucking chat. It's just, it's like that over there. That being said, I still hope they come back. But that was one of the things I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's just like enclosed space. There's no room to breathe. And of course, we were, one of the bigger shows, probably the biggest show over there. And, it has some resentment. And, I didn't necessarily help with that because some people would say some shit. And I was like, well, you know what? Fuck you. Suck my dick. And it just spirals out of control. So. IT Weeb says, boiled peanuts were part of my childhood as much as Power Rangers or fishing with my dad. You and your terrible barbecue can go to hell, sir. Oh, well, thank you. I might have to try them again, actually, with all these comments. Pro Farah says, shout out to Nick for allowing us fans to support Vic. Monica, Ron, Jamie. Funny, I think he means Funimation. Will protect us. Funimation, us. Whoa, Kimosabi. Johnny Drinks Too Much says, RIP Smasher Pass polls and no words. Yeah, they'll be sorely missed. The Smasher Pass, that did come about on Stream Me. It kind of got played out, but it was still funny sometimes. Just Here to Laugh says, Ralph, great to see you back. I was checking Mars Girl's Twitter and it's pure cancer. Nick sued the crap out of her ass. The Automatic 91 says, shout out to the new Killstream CEO, Memology 101. That's Memo, Ralph, not Memo. Yeah, Memo, Ralph, not Memo. Why do I keep saying it? I guess I just always want to say Memology. It's Memology. I don't know what. Maybe it's my southern retardation. I'm not sure, but I just always want to say Memology, but it actually is Memology. All right. Nick Kicken says, remember to support Leap Shin Photography. LeapShin_photography on Instagram. Follow if you're a base. Do not follow if you are a cuck. White Sea Poison says, can you address ops with you shitting on donators in Zoom's Discord? Yeah, I can address it. It's complete horseshit. And that's basically the address of it. I talked about it earlier. I went on Killstream the other day. I'm not really going to get into it much more. But yeah, it's trash. Phoenix 76 says, good to see you back on a site that doesn't stutter every 15 seconds. Been here since Baked Alaska. Long live the Killstream. You've been here almost a year, sir. It's March, April. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of the Baked Alaska stream, which is when we really blew up. So we're getting there. Diablo Samurai 1985 says, Mars Girl slandering Vic when her close friend was groomer and young girl diddler. And then something about Hebrew warrior is rich. I didn't get the last, but Ozymandias says, thrilled I can donate again to the Killstream. Dick and Nick is great. Nick does great work, but he should thank you for cultivating the late night YouTube audience. Yeah, and honestly, I won't say that, but I want to thank him for always being up for coming on our show. Like if there's any type of legal topic and Cody Wilson and just anything where I would think, well, I could sit on here and run my fat mouth for, 15, 20 minutes, but I would rather hear, an actual learned attorney speak on it and think about the angles and how would this person defend it in court. I think that's valuable. And I guess I grew up, loving legal coverage and just kind of admiring attorneys and stuff like that. So that's why I enjoyed it even more.
You've got a Twitter account, right? That makes you a certified internet attorney.
Oh man, it's never gonna end. That's what I love. I said this on air earlier, and I talked to other people. I mean, the gimmick's never gonna stop. I mean, it just you never run out. It's never gonna stop. I mean, there's always some retard. The amount of internet attorneys, it's limitless, and it's only going to grow. Phoenix 76 says, welcome to the Killstream, the #1 late night show on YouTube. Formerly #1, but we did creep into the top 6 or 7 tonight. I'll take that, definitely. Alban says, "Grats on the nuptials, Andy and Ethan." Phoenix 76 says, "Shout out to Mamology for being a legend." Absolutely, I could never repay him in a million years for this. The Grass Cutter says, "Mumpke uses an old channel, works like Twitter." Yeah, so Twitter. One of the things on Twitter is if you make a new account, they'll usually ban you quicker. But technically, so if you read the rules, technically it's making a new count to evade a ban is against the rules. But if you parse that like a lawyer would, using an old account to evade a ban is technically not against the rules. So you see when people do that, a lot of times they're able to stay on there longer. So that's one of the little wrinkles. Now they can still just throw you off anytime they want, but
so you're technically right here in many ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming back on, very comforting.
Blue Satoshi says, "And hero equals lost an iPod and gonna get 1-800 dominoed." Mossberg 88 says, "The darkness grows." 148 Rama Rama. Moderator Marcy says, "Love Soph, love her content, depends on the child." Oh no. Eric Harrison says, "Wait, welcome back. First super chat to you guys. What happened to Stream Me? The owners got doxxed. Their families got doxxed. They sent photos of their wives with cum all over them to the owners and the staff. And they threatened the owners and said, 'We know where your kids live,' even though we know all these people are autistics and probably don't get up out of their chair for more than 30 minutes in a day, and they're never going to do anything to the kids." But they still took it seriously. Haru Okamura says, "Hey, Ralph, glad you're able to stream again. Please send my regards to the Greek Freak. We want him back. I won't send as many chats on YouTube, though." That's fair. But he's going to be streaming on YouTube, I believe. And if you look on my Twitter, I retweeted. If you go down a little bit, his channel's on there. I don't have it right on me, but literally nobody says bring back the wig on head gif. That'd be really going back there. Saint Guillotine says Masterson blue pill rant round 2. I don't know. You can't just force something like that.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
That was
you gotta
organic.
bring up something that I really feel passionate about being blue pilled about.
Yeah, that was organic, and that was due to the chat just fucking with him for about 30, 45 minutes straight. I guess they thought he wasn't reading the chat, but he was. Dirty D disagrees. Says, gotta say, Ralph, I wasn't sure how tonight was gonna go, but you did good. They'll never abort the retort. I'm feeling a little more confident, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna be honest. Of course, I was with Andy earlier, and we were talking about it when Streamy got deleted, and I still wasn't sure what I was gonna do tonight. I was pretty down in the dumps. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, man, I won't say that I thought it was the end of the line, but I was like, wow, this could be, the mortal blow, the gut shot that eventually you bleed out from, and it still could be. To be honest,
I thought it might be.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that might be the Ralph might just say like, oh, I'm going to work at an antique store or something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go boil peanuts. I'm gonna be a peanut farmer.
No, not that it would kill me right away, but like, oh, it's gonna be tough now. Like, oh, Streamy's deleted. People were used to that. You already had all the drama going.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, is he actually gonna be able to recover from this? Yeah, that definitely crossed my mind. And Andy is so like, I don't even know what you want to call it, but just giddy about being here in the United States. He's just like, Ralph, don't get down. It's going to be all right. We got this, just pumping me up. And I was still down. I was like, okay, this guy's just crazy about being here in the United States, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I do appreciate that. Politically Incorrect says, F all the haters. Been having to watch on Palmer's show, not stagnant. You, Gator, and Zidane are great. Fuck the Spurgs. Even though I'm a Sargon fan, I love this show. Well, thank you. That one of the more impressive super chats of the night. Haru Okamura says, Haru gang rise up. Adel Wolf says, save SPCC. Do it, Ralph. Save him, GDI. Varg, the white one, says, power and wealth. This is what woman desire in man. True. The Knickerman says, RIP the Nigeria word. Glad to see you back on YouTube. I'm glad to be here. And with that, Mr. Dick Masterson, another guy who, oh man, anytime, I messaged him last week, and this was my own message, so I feel like I can share it on air. I was like, wow, Dick, I know I asked you for a lot, to come on the shows. The Dan was gone, and this, actually you offered that one, but just a lot of times I kind of just, oh, could you help us out? And I was in a tight spot, even without Streamy being completely deleted. It's like, man, you think you mind coming on Monday, man? And he's like, anything, for the Killstream, I'll definitely help out. And
anytime. Who wouldn't want to be part of this great resurrection that you're pulling off, this coming back to life stunt over and over. We die and then we come back.
Thank you, man. I really do appreciate
people so recklessly risk their channel for you. Look at all of us coming together.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Oh, I guess plug your shit. I think everybody already knows you anyway, but
yeah, thedickshow.com, dick.show, patreon.com/thedickshow, and go anybody who's got a new Project 2 account, go check it out, support those guys. I'm not doing like a site search thing because it makes it too easy to pick people off, and because then everybody will, everybody's kids get their pictures cummed on, and I just don't want to be responsible for that. So you got to find creators directly, figure out where they're at. This is great, man. It's good to have you back. You can hear it in your voice that you're back. And also for all the people watching, there was 4,000 people watching, and I think you were at 2,000 regularly on Stream Me. For you 2,000 people, where the fuck were you this whole time? That you couldn't go over to stream.me and check out the Ralph Retort over there? Come on. Just a cup. You got to type either one in your bar.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Come on.
You don't like hats? You don't like hats on, guys? Come on. You don't like polls? Jesus. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you hit the ground running here.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Hope we can have you back soon.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Farewell. Gator, it's just me and you. I miss Zidane. God damn it. I wish he could have been here tonight.
I can't wait for him to get back.
That's the one thing. He's going to be back. All these people say, oh, the dance moved away. He's disavowed. You motherfuckers are stupid. I'll just let you know that now.
Well, people kept saying that I was gone forever. Bye-bye.
Because they're
fired.
dumb.
He quit the show.
People are idiots. They don't have any clue what they're talking about. But Zidane's absolutely going to be here. But the reason I wanted him here so bad is because this, oh man, and it went even better than I could have ever imagined. I'm going to be real with you. It's just, that's the one thing that we didn't have tonight. Zidane here. Zidane, we love you, man. We know you're going to be here soon. We miss you, though. Gator, thank you, sir. Anything else real quick?
Yeah, maybe the real Stream.me was the friends we lost along the way.
That's it. That was the line of the night. Gator nailed it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man.
As always.
All right, it's just me now. Go see Nick Rekieta. We're the lead-in for Nick now, and I love it. Nick Rekieta, Rekieta Law. Go check it out. He's got a fucking huge show tonight. I'm not going to bore you anymore. We're a little bit early. What, about 2.5, 2 hours, 40 minutes, 2 hours, 30 minutes, something like that. But I just want to end it on a high note. There's no need to stretch it out. But there is one thing I want to do. I don't think I've ever played this song on YouTube. Should I check it real quick? I think I checked it before. Just to be careful. Since I'm on someone else's channel here. Let me check it real quick. And I know people are going to say, Ralph, what are you doing? Where the fuck is this song, though? That's ridiculous. I play it all the time on Stream Me. Everybody knows what song it is. If you use this song, god damn, is that serious? Oh my lord. Blocked in 249 countries? Oh my god. I was gonna take it down anyway, but fuck. What can I even play? Let me see. I should have checked this beforehand, but I didn't know it was going to be on YouTube. On Stream Me, I don't really worry about it. All the clippers will just take it out anyway. So, viewable worldwide. You can't monetize your video. I'm pretty sure Memology is going to take this down anyway. So I'm not worried about it. Let's do it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's find it. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to leave an archive of these up. No, we didn't break any rules tonight, but I just probably better to just take them down. I think we're gonna be back here tomorrow night though, so be on the lookout for that. I love it. I love you guys. Honestly, I cannot even express in words. I would have to sit down. I could, but I have to sit down and write an article. Anyway, go watch Nick Rekieta. I love this night. It was amazing. Thank every single one of you so much. Let me refresh just to make sure I didn't miss any super chats real quick. Oh, I did see a couple. Snobby Line says Haru Okamura. Haru Okamura #1. Horsehead says, Ralph, I sent a chat. You didn't read it. Refund. I don't remember. I might have missed it. Oh, Horsehead says, Dick, you can get boiled peanuts at Walmart. Okay, I read it now. The best debate in the universe says, nice numbers, Ralph. Thank you, sir. That's it. Farewell. See you tomorrow night.